Chapter 405 Dark Power. Chapter 405 Dark Power. When Chen Xiang discovered that his attacks weren't working, he retreated back by 10 steps as he looked at Qiuxing with a solemn look. He knew that Qiuxing had some kinds of means through which he could absorb the strength of his techniques and was thinking of countermeasures to deal with that, otherwise, he would definitely lose this match. Water Vine. Just as Chen Xiang released those water vines, they disappeared. To his dismay, he couldn't even use them. Qiuxing just looked at him with a happy smile. "Brother Chen, is that all you got?" Having said that, Qiuxing's figure instantly flickered before he arrived next to Chen Xiang and brandished a punch, striking upon Chen Xiang's cheek. His punch was terrifyingly fast. To Chen Xiang's dismay, he wasn't even able to gauge his actions. The punch heavily landed on Chen Xiang's cheek, yet he didn't fly out but retreated a few steps. There wasn't even a bruise over his face. Evidently, he had not suffered any grave injuries at all. This time it was Qiuxing's turn to be surprised. The punch he had just fired wasn't weak at all. Furthermore, after the punch struck, Chen Xiang couldn't resist with any true qi whatsoever, as he had the ability to disintegrate any true qi there was. However, Chen Xiang just retreated a few steps. Such a powerful impact had just made him retreat. Chen Xiang touched his face as he slightly smiled. "That's all you got too? It seems you cannot use true qi as well, because once true qi comes in contact with you, it will all be melted away. Am I right?" Just a moment ago, Chen Xiang had not sensed any particular characteristics of true qi, but he did sense a strange power. This power was quite strong, but it wasn't true qi. Chen Xiang reckoned that this power was what decomposed the true qi. "Oh, you noticed? That's right. I can't utilize true qi, however. I have another kind of power. This power can allow me to congeal my true qi in a powerful disintegrating power, as well as allow me to have powerful strength," said Qiuxing. Chen Xiang once again charged towards Qiuxing. His speed was still very fast, and he had gathered universe true qi on his leg, so that he could run at faster speed. Watching Chen Xiang charging at him the second time, Qiuxing shook his head and said, "No need, you better come up with your strongest attack. I want to disintegrate your strongest true qi attack." Just as he finished speaking, Chen Xiang had already jumped over and raised his fist and punched fiercely, SMAs. HI plus ing upon Qiuxing's cheek. Bang! After Chen Xiang's punch landed upon Qiuxing's cheek, it burst forth with a bone-cracking sound while Qiuxing flew to one side. Qiuxing was aghast. He felt a few of his teeth break. Chen Xiang's punch was quite strong, which he found difficult to believe. However, soon, he thought of another possibility. What Chen Xiang used was physical strength. Chen Xiang's physique was extremely strong. At the same level of cultivation, he was unbeatable. He cultivated the Suppressing Devil Divine exercise. After attaining the Suppressing Devil Golden Body, his immortal and devil body had soared to the 10th level. And when he stepped into the extreme state, that vigorous ability had undergone baptism, while the Suppressing Devil Golden Body had advanced by 3 levels, and now, his immortal and devil body was at 13th level. Hey, don't underestimate me," Chen Xiang said with a laugh. He rushed at quick speed, as he quickly made a charge and burst forth with powerful momentum, which through his punch turned into a powerful strength. Chen Xiang had noticed that Qiuxing had a weak physique, because Qiuxing was quite thin. He reckoned that it was the result of cultivating that strange power. Thus, in regards to the physique, Qiuxing was far inferior to Chen Xiang. As Chen Xiang attacked again, Qiuxing immediately tried to jump, but just as he wanted to dodge Chen Xiang's punch, when Chen Xiang's punch had still not landed, Chen Xiang opened his mouth to roar as an azure aura spewed out from his mouth, along with an ear-piercing dragon roar that directly shook Qiuxing's mind, making him feel a slight headache. Azure Dragon Roar was created with true qi. Once it came in contact with Qiuxing, it dissipated and disappeared, but it also caused a spirit attack which slowed Qiuxing down a bit. Taking advantage of the moment when Qiu Xing was in a trance, Chen Xiang fiercely punched and his fist directly landed upon Qiu Xing's nose before he quickly punched again, and all of them landed dead right upon Qiu Xing's head. Whenever Chen Xiang punched, he would gather a large amount of true qi in his arm, which would, in turn, promote his punching speed and the momentum it carried, so that his punch was not only faster, it was stronger as well, causing the punch to have a fearsome power. Chen Xiang's punch didn't have any true qi, it just contained a terrifying momentum, which when landed upon Qiu Xing's thin and weak face, caused very serious injuries. Just a while ago, when everyone was still discussing on how to deal with Qiu Xing's mysterious disintegrating method, they got to witness how Chen Xiang rendered Qiu Xing with just his physical strength, unable to fight back. As long as one could avoid true qi contact with Qiu Xing, anyone could attack Qiu Xing. Indeed, it was a good method. However, the premise was that one had a powerful physique. Originally, Chen Xiang has fallen leeward, but he had turned the situation around very quickly. Everyone incessantly praised Chen Xiang's rich experience, that he found a suitable way to deal with the enemy so quickly. Having had his head fiercely beaten by Chen Xiang's mad punches, Qiu Xing burst into fury and suddenly roared as a gray light flashed. Whereupon, a light gray thing was congealed over his fists, giving off the impression of a light gray glove. Qiu Xing's powerful punch landed upon Chen Xiang's chest, which made Chen Xiang fly back. Had it not for Chen Xiang bursting forth with true qi to stabilize himself, perhaps he would have been flown off the stage. Puff! Chen Xiang spat a mouthful of blood as he gazed at Qiu Xing. Whereas both of Qiu Xing's hands seemed to be completely wrapped in gray, which was exuding a kind of bizarre power, making Chen Xiang incessantly shocked. Qiu Xing's face had been battered black and blue, yet he didn't get angry. On the contrary, he smiled and said, "For so many years, you are the first who had made me like this. Even if you won't unleash your strongest power to attack me, I will use my strongest attack to defeat you. You can come anytime." Chen Xiang slightly smiled, without a sliver of fear whatsoever. Qiu Xing's figure flickered before he swooped over. The smile on Chen Xiang's face suddenly disappeared, because Qiu Xing's punch had already landed upon his face ruthlessly. After he was hit, the punch also burst forth with an explosion, making his ear ring with a buzzing noise and eyes blurry. He was hit with a terrifying headache. Just as the left side of his face was attacked, the right side of his face was soon hit also. Just a moment ago, as Chen Xiang had attacked Qiu Xing was attacking Chen Xiang in a similar way. However, his attacks were a lot more powerful as compared to that of Chen Xiang's. Just after 10 punches, Chen Xiang's consciousness was blurry, seemingly about to faint. The power this guy is using is called dark power. He should have a dark vein, through which he is able to cultivate dark power. Certainly, someone must have guided him in cultivation, or else, he would have been unable to arrive at this step. If the person cultivating dark power deviated from the course, it could quite possibly lead him to his own death. It is very dangerous. Su Meiyao finally spoke. People who have dark veins are quite rare. This is a very extraordinary pulse, which can congeal dark power by absorbing spirit qi. What makes it the strongest is that it can disintegrate true qi, turning the true qi back to its most primeval state before it is absorbed by the dark power user. Bai Yu said. Chen Xiang was already beaten to the point that he could not fight back. The offense of his opponent was simply too fierce. Not to mention, he couldn't even use his true qi, not even the slightest. Chapter 406, Strongest Power. Chapter 406, Strongest Power. Sisters, you finally answered. Quickly think of a way. I'm gonna lose. Chen Xiang cried in his heart. We were meditating, therefore we couldn't immediately answer you. Your opponent's dark energy is bad news. Let us think again. Honestly speaking, it is also our first time seeing someone use dark energy. We had only heard it before. Su Mei Yao was also very worried. At this moment, Long Shui yawned, laughed. How troublesome is this? Tell you what, these people who cultivates dark energy are all an arrogant bunch. Many powerful figures will tend to avoid upon meeting them. Even those who are more powerful than them would not want to slight them. But our royal dragon clan, one is not afraid at all. Chen Xiang scolded softly. So little dragon, too, was sleeping. Quickly tell me how to fight them. Mix your magic into your true qi, and the dark energy will not be able to do anything. This is why this kind of person only can beg for forgiveness when meeting my royal dragon clan. Mix your magic into your true qi and just punch him," said Long Shui. Chen Xiang followed exactly, activating the magic within his conscious, mixing it with his true qi, and shooting out from his arms. It looked like he roared. Both arms suddenly turn ablaze. Two red like hot metal-like fists shot out at the same time, one at the top, one at bottom, hitting Qiu Xing's chest and stomach, quickly punching away Qiu Xing. Chen Xiang wiped the blood trace from the corner of his mouth, his whole face swelling. He got abused by Qiu Xing harshly. Ingmong Er and Hua Xiang was originally very worried about Chen Xiang. They wanted to use divine sense to persuade Chen Xiang to give up. Otherwise it would be serious if he got crippled. Other strong warriors who saw Chen Xiang got beat up like that thought that it would be hard to retaliate, but now Qiu Xing instead got beaten by Chen Xiang, while using Jinqi nonetheless. The whole crowd was silent, even the big mouth, Ji Kuan Yi, was staring at Chen Xiang's pair of red fists. How is this possible? Jinqi should not able to hit Qiu Xing. Ji Kuan muttered to himself. Qiu Xing was he involved party, the most shocked was also him. Ever since he cultivated dark energy, only nirvana-level Jinqi can suppress him, otherwise upon touching his body, it will be dissolved by his body's dark energy, turning it into its original state, either getting dissipated or absorbed into his body. But when Chen Xiang used Jinqi to punch him, it was the first time he was hurt by Jinqi over so many years. That was a kind of hot energy. His body's spot that got hit was like a red-hot metal, giving a stinging pain. Qiu Xing crawled up, creased his brows and asked, "How did you do that?" Chen Xiang smiled without replying him. "I will tell you only if you can beat me. Didn't you always want to see my strongest state? I'll show you now." Upon hearing Qiu Xing was serious, he quickly circulated his dark energy within his body. Now his body was covered by a gray cover. "Come, just now was just my mistake. This time I'm going to dissolve your strongest attack." Qiu Xing was very confident. This is because he is very confident about his dark energy. This was not him being proud. This was what he learnt from sparring over the years. Chen Xiang hesitated. "I'm worried I might beat you to death. I don't hate you, I just want to make you lose, not having you carry a serious injury when you leave the stage." Qiu Xing laughed. "Just come at me. If I really died under your strongest attack, I won't blame you. It's fine if you cripple me, as it is better than being dead. If it really did happen, it will be because I'm weak." The crowd can see that both Chen Xiang and Qiu Xing are the type that enjoys sparring. Even if they were defeated or crippled, they will not blame the opponent. Unlike Chen Xiang's previous opponents, who were arrogant the moment they stepped on stage, wanting to step on Chen Xiang like an ant immediately. Chen Xiang's strongest power, what could it be? The crows was also very curious. Although Qiu Xing is a blood warrior, 3, but he did not cultivate Jinqi, thus it was difficult to determine his overall strength. Furthermore, he cultivates an unusual energy. It was able to dissolve others' Jinqi. This caused others to be unable to determine Qiu Xing's true strength. Chen Xiang held out his fist, and faint white rays suddenly came out from his fist. At the same time, the whole floor started to slightly shake. Qiu Xing at that point in time had a face full of horror. His body got pressured by the energy from Chen Xiang's fist until he had to retreat. The strong warriors in the crowd also had faces full of horror. This kind of energy was something that most of them knew of. It was even unforgettable to some. because they were defeated by Huang Min Tian using this kind of energy. Dragon Force. The energy strong enough to kill a dragon. Chen Xiang originally was only able to gather up a small ball of it, but after reaching the extreme realm, was able to cover his whole arm. Upon unleash plusing the dragon force, it gave out an energy storm, swept towards the surrounding. Many who came forward to watch was at martial stage but was still being pushed away repeatedly by this gush of energy. Only those at nirvana level and those at the extreme realm could still stand. Not bad, this kid can use this kind of energy at this time. Gu Dongchen marveled. He's experienced this kind of energy's prowess. His teacher used to always use this kind of energy to hit him. Ji Quan face ashen. Didn't Huang Jintian, that crazy old fellow, say, only those who are at extreme realm can gather this kind of energy? Qiusheng didn't know what kind of energy was that, but he was very excited because Chen Xiang didn't lie to him. This type of energy was really strong. If he knew what kind of energy this is, he might not be able to continue on. Very strong, but it is made from true qi. Qiusheng smilingly said, as long as it is Zhenqi, I can dissolve it. Ji Quan originally wanted to stop Qiusheng, but after hearing what Qiusheng had said, he also wanted to have a look at whether Qiusheng's cultivation on dark energy is able to dissolve this dragon force. If it can be dissolved, then Qiusheng would be able to defeat Chen Xiang. This was a good thing. Long Xueling said in disdain. Add magic and send the guy flying. People who uses dark energy are the worst. Chen Xiang smirked and sped forwards. This was his first time using dragon force to hit someone. Furthermore, the opponent was standing there letting him hit. This kind of good thing doesn't come by often. The ground was constantly shaking. This was because the dragon force was too strong. Along with Chen Xiang darting in, dragon force received a violent turbulence, making the ground shake more violently. Goodbye! While Chen Xiang was running in, he smiled faintly. What? Qiusheng just finished saying this word, when Chen Xiang's fist, that contains strong dragon force like a flash of white light, hits Qiusheng in the chest. The crowd only saw blood spewing out like arrow from Qiusheng's mouth. With a xiao sound, Qiusheng was sent flying by that terrifying energy, instantly sank into the distant white cloud, disappearing. Ji Quan was stunned for a moment, and also instantly disappeared from there, chased towards the direction that Qiusheng was sent flying. Hey, you haven't announced that I have won. Chen Xiang said, shouted with a grin. Qiusheng was sent flying with a single punch. This kind of power made everyone who saw it suck in a breath of cold air. Qiusheng was sent flying with a single punch. This kind of power made everyone who saw it suck in a breath of cold air. The draconic strength was very strong, but everyone knew that it was very difficult to cultivate it, because one had to have the of the 5 elements, and the body had to be strong enough, and the condensed innate qi had to be strong enough. Even though it was said that way, many people still wanted to obtain the Taiji dragon suppressed kung fu, but now they could no longer ask Chen Xiang for it, because otherwise it would be unethical. Chen Xiang allowed them to obtain the martial arts left behind by the old ancestor, which in itself was a kindness to them. How could they, who stood at the peak of power in the mortal realm, not show gratitude? Chen Xiang originally had 3,300 points, and adding Qiusheng's 3,300 points, it would be 6,600 points. He was currently ranked 10th. There was still half a day before the end. In this half a day, he would definitely not be pushed down. In just a short 2.5 days, Chen Xiang had leapt to 10th place. It should be known that the people who were ranked at the top in terms of rankings had to experience many battles before when the rules were incomplete in order for them to obtain a lot of points. But now, Chen Xiang had obtained this ranking in less than 3 days. This was because Chen Xiang was not someone from above continent of the king, and having obtained such a good rank, the warriors on continent of the king would definitely feel uncomfortable. The ranking compet 1. Tian of 50 points and below had already finished, and all of them had been eliminated. making it impossible for them to proceed with the later stages. The person who had just squeezed into the top 50 was even more depressed, because not long after he squeezed in, he was pushed out. Chen Xiang waited for less than an hour before W.A.N.G. Quan returned. Elder W.A.N.G., he didn't die, right? Chen Xiang asked with concern. He's not dead, but he's severely injured. He'll have to lie down for at least a month. W.A.N.G. Quan shook his head and sighed, then carried Qiu Xing and left. At this time, Gu Dongchen patted Chen Xiang's shoulder and laughed. Junior Master, it is not difficult for you to get first place. I did not expect you to be able to use the draconic strength now. My master had told me before that he could only use it when he is at the peak of the Nirvana realm. Chen Xiang laughed. I wonder what a next PAS is? If only I had kept on competing, I think that Continent of the King would have gotten more stuff out and thought of ways to eliminate me. Wu Kaming laughed. It's very possible, but Junior Marshal Uncle, you should be able to handle it. Of course you can. I'm in the top 50, so you guys should have some sort of reaction, right? Chen Xiang looked at Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming. Fine, I'll treat you to a meal. Gu Dongchen felt like he lost a piece of meat. I have to call Xiao Dao, Zhu Rong and the rest over. They did not see my compet. 1. Tian, they must be complaining. Zhu Rong was the prink. 1. Al of the martial arts school. He had once invited Zhu Rong and the others to a meal. That time, Zhu Rong and the others had eaten a lot of his spar without mercy. After returning to the Taiwu sect, Chen Xiang immediately went to find Yun Xiaodao's group, and followed Gu Dongchen to the hotel. Along the way, he bragged and talked about how he had beaten the warriors above the continent of the king. Xiao Chao's injuries had healed by a lot, and even though he was small, he was not sloppy when it came to eating. It was difficult for Gu Dongchen to understand how his small stomach could hold so many things. As they ate, Chen Xiang and the others did not say a word, as if they were hungry ghosts reincarnated. They desperately swallowed all kinds of expensive dishes. These dishes were not made from some precious and strange flowers or herbs, but rather some delicious demon beast meat and spirit beast meat. Wu Qianqian did not come, because Chen Xiang could not find her. Although she was a woman, after staying with Chen Xiang and the others for a long time, every time she came to the hotel, she would wolf down her food like Chen Xiang and the others, not looking like a lady at all. Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming were standing at the side, while Wu Kaming was watching with a smile on his face, but Gu Dongchen was secretly calculating how much Chen Xiang and the others had eaten. Lei Xionglin and Lei Zhong were both big guys, and they had been specialized in food for a long time, so they had a lot of experience in eating. Lian Mingdong was born in a rich place like the Lotus Island, so he would definitely eat all kinds of delicacies. After all, the Taiwu sect was treating them to a meal, so of course they wouldn't be polite. Only Hao Dongqing and Yao Haixing kept a low profile. When they were almost done eating, they watched from the side. Eat as much as you want, everyone. Eat him until he faints in the sky, until the seas dry up and rocks shatter, ha. Chen Xiang chewed on the demon beast meat and laughed. Seeing Gu Dongchen's stingy expression, he was extremely excited. 3 days and 3 nights had passed. Chen Xiang and the others could not remember how many dishes and how much wine they had ordered. It's about time, let's settle the bill. Chen Xiang laughed. They were all powerful warriors, and could quickly convert delicious food into energy when they ate. Chen Xiang and the rest left quickly, but Gu Dongchen wanted to pay the bill. Although he was a sect leader, he did not have the right to buy any debts, and he often ate here, so he was extremely familiar with the shopkeeper. At this time, he could only take out the spars painfully. I say, senior brother, you're too stingy, aren't you? It's just a little spar. Wu Kaming was speechless. What do you know? The so-called little by little is more than a huge number. I really want to quickly ascend to heaven realm and be targeted by this junior master all day long. You don't know how much trouble this is. Gu Dongchen sighed. The next pas started 10 days later. Chun Xiang had 10 days of rest. In these 10 days, he was not idle. He condensed a large number of golden dragon cohesion to grow them, because he had reached the ultimate realm, so the effects of 5 elements true essence pill were much less compared to him. This was also the part where he was troubled about. When his cultivation level increased, the pills he ate would also have to follow, thus he had to refine a middle-grade profound level pellet to replace them. He still had to stay at the early stage of the spiritual martial realm for a while, and during this period of time, he planned to collect the ingredients for the middle-grade profound level pills. The quality of your golden dragon cohesion has increased by a lot. In the future, you'll need to mature medicinal herbs a lot faster. Su Meiyao said. Chun Xiang was currently considering how to use the large number of foundation-building pill that he had mastered. If used correctly, a granular-building foundation pill could create a genuine martial realm ranker. He had more than 200 of them, and he also had a large number of herbs. Cultivate your own faction. If you have such thoughts, I will help you create a training plan to nurture an army of genuine martial realm. Especially when facing the little demoness of great war between 3 realms in the future, this army will have a great deal of lethality. By Yu said. Chapter 408 Golden Lion Eagle. Chapter 408 Golden Lion Eagle. No one knew when did the 3 Great Realm War started, but Chun Xiang could tell from the Elder Master's upper head that there is still a period of time, otherwise they wouldn't be nurturing disciples calmly. For example, Gu Dongchen, he bought quite a big amount of foundation pills from Chun Xiang already. Chun Xiang planned to nurture a team of true warriors, consisting of around 100 men. He was only planning now. He need to collect better spirit ingredients to refine better pills after the end of King's martial arts compet. 1. Tie-in. At that time he will also need to rely on better pills rather than just foundation pills. 10 days of rest. Said very quickly. Chun Xiang followed Gu Dongchen and Wu coming to King's Continent 1 day earlier. Currently Chun Xiang is inside a city in King's Continent. He have not visited other places in King's Continent. He also did not dare to walk around by himself to avoid trouble. Chun Xiang arrived at a luxurious hall. There was 49 other King's Continent warriors inside. Chun Xiang recognized a few of them. It was those who always follows Ji Quan around. Chun Xiang guessed that their points are also very high. Seeing Chun Xiang arriving, those 40-plus young disciple all looked towards Chun Xiang. This made Chun Xiang felt weird as he realized that he looked like a rabbit, being targeted by a group of wolves. Within the group of 49 young disciple, there was 10-plus ladies, and Chun Xiang didn't know that King's Continent ladies were so powerful that so many made it in the top 50. Okay, I'll announce the info about the next stage. This is a test to test you guys. This stage focuses on speed, and those who makes it to the appointed destination wins. Ji Quan said upon hearing. Chun Xiang laughed in his heart. He partook. 1p. Aided in a speed compet. 1. Taiyan hosted by Tai Wu clan before, and he directly used UK Flame Eagle to fly, achieving first, so right now he could also use this again. Let me explain the rules. On the way to the destination, there should not be any conflicts and blocking of others to proceed. Also, the road to the destination are filled with obstacles. For example, spirit beasts raised by us will attack and stop you. Or spirit warrior in extreme realm disciples will also try to stop you. You will need to defeat them to continue forward. Of course, if you have the ability, you can also shake them off. While Ji Quan is explaining the rules, Chun Xiang saw Ji Quan's look and scolded in his heart. He guessed that Ji Quan will definitely take special care of him. At that time there would probably be a lot of things to block him from continuing. Can we fly? Asked a lady timidly. You can fly, but traveling in air is more dangerous. You guys should be aware that our spirit hall has raised a bunch of golden lion eagles, although they are only grade 9th ping stage spirit beasts, but when they group up, it is even dangerous for those at extreme realm, W. A.N.G. Quan said. Chun Xiang isn't afraid of these things at all, and he even planned to see what the legendary golden lion eagles are like. From books that he had read, it is said that this spirit beast had the body of a tiger, wings of an eagle, claws of an eagle, eye of an eagle, a beak for a mouth, and a body of a horse with adamantine feathers, but it is very light, and its flying speed was also very fast. When they group up, they were like the overlord of the sky. Upon hearing that they will be intercepted by golden tiger eagles, everyone was slightly surprised. They all knew what the result would be if they were to meet with groups of thousands of golden tiger eagles. Thousands of golden tiger eagles? Chen Xiang was shocked when overheard this from the soft discussions made by Spirit Hall disciples. Golden tiger eagles? Hee, this kind of things cannot evolve at all. It will forever stay at spirit beast realm and never make it to a Baixian beast. Long Shuling laughed in disdain. Just then, W.A.N.G. Quan shouted, I'll give you 1 more hour to prepare. Now I will give you all a map. Once you reach there, all you have to do is knock on the big bell there, and it will count as you have reached there. Only the first 20 can proceed to next stage, the others will be eliminated. Chun Xiang held onto a map. Both Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming frowned when they saw that the destination was very far and they need to cross multiple mountains and huge rivers to reach T.I.T. That's almost half of the King's continent. It would take at least a year using a normal steed to get there, said Wu Kaming. Even riding a steed takes 1 year. Qin Xiang exclaimed, King's continent sure is big. I wonder how long would it take to reach there with my current speed? Chen Xiang continued to look at the map, as he would definitely be flying in the sky, so he had no need to know the situations at the ground. Little Marshal Uncle, those golden tiger eagle's speed is very fast. You would probably get caught up even if you use the flame eagle, said Wu Kaming. Chen Xiang laughed. You have belittled me. I have confidence in my speed. Wu Kaming and Gu Dongchen shook their heads, as they did not have a lot of understanding towards Chen Xiang's speed. Long Shuling gave a charming humph and said, Relax, I dare to say that those things that cannot even evolve won't be faster than you. You batty, didn't you say that you wanted to build a batch of true warrior army? Shouldn't you need a sort of ride? Chen Xiang's flinched, saying, Army? That uses too much resource, I can't afford it. About 100 men is enough. Che, only 100 men? You have to have at least 3,000. That should be imposing enough, I believe you can do it. Long Shuling laughed. 3,000 true warrior. It definitely is imposing enough, but that would not only need mere 3,000 foundation pills, but also help of other pills. But the strength of stage 1 or 2 true warrior is not enough. Chen Xiang believed that they should be at least at true warrior stage 3. If you promise me to make 3,000 true warrior forces, I will bring you to find golden flying tiger. It is much better than those mixed bred lion eagles. If you don't believe me, you can ask little Bai Hu. Bai Jinjin's delicate voice sounded. Master, what Long Jie said is true. Golden flying tiger can become a Xian beast, and it is easier to tame than those lion eagles, but it is very rare and very less in amount. There is no need to worry about the amount, leave it to me. Long Shuling smiled. Chen Xiang gave out a bitter laugh. Army of 3,000 men, I'm afraid that I don't have enough time. It will need a lot of foundation pills and good seedlings to make it happen. There will definitely be enough time. The 3 Great Realm War won't start anytime soon, even though there is a crack. Judging from those factions that let out the news, they definitely think that there is still time for them to prepare, said Su Meiyao. Chen Xiang sighed. All right, I'll try my best to plant more ingredient for foundation pill. Resting time is over. Chen Xiang and group were brought to the square. They will start racing from here to the distant finest. HI plus Ing line. Chapter 409 Blue Blood Race. Chapter 409 Blue Blood Race. W.A.N.G. Quan shouted, Begin! The 50 young warriors immediately shot out like arrows, and in a few blinks of an eye, they ran out of Divine Marshal Hall's plaza's entrance, running through the streets and alleys, and disappeared from sight. Go to the finish line and wait for them, Ji Quan said. Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming also nodded their heads. Many of the big heads from other continents were originally here, but after knowing that it was a boring compet. One Tian, they all left. They only wanted to see the compet. One Tian, especially the compet. One Tian, because they wanted to see the beauty of the Taiji dragon suppressed kung fu. Just as Ji Quan and the rest were about to reach the finish line, they sensed a faint wave of heat being suddenly used up in the distance. They immediately turned to look, only to see a ball of fiery red light appear there. This kid really did it. Gu Dongchen shook his head and laughed. Humph, this is courting death. Ji Quan humphed and disappeared. When Shen Xiang left the city, he immediately released the Suzaku Fire Wing. He could now make the Suzaku Fire Wing appear very big, but it was not necessary, because it was not agile enough. Furthermore, it consumed a lot of energy. Even so, his Suzaku Fire Wing was now 60 meters wide, and looking at it from afar, it was extremely scary. Furthermore, that scorching aura also made people uncomfortable. Shen Xiang flapped his wings, and he immediately turned into a ray of fiery red light, flying into the clouds. Originally, his speed was extremely fast, and many people were behind him, but now that he saw Shen Xiang flying high in the sky at such a terrifying speed, he was extremely jealous. Haha, I'm leaving first. Please do not lose to this outsider. A cute and beautiful girl in a blue dress laughed. A pair of light blue wings appeared behind her back, looking like the wings of a butterfly. After the young lady flapped her little wings, she entered the forest. She was extremely agile as she shuttled back and forth. She even let out clear laughter and excited cries. This young lady was the one who had asked if she could fly. As the girl's voice faded away, everyone knew that they had been left far behind. Now that they were outside the city, they could all use their fastest speed to charge towards their target. Some people were like a mad bull rampaging through the forest. Many trees were hit, but this person's speed was extremely fast. In just a split second, many trees in the forest fell. Shen Xiang was flying high in the sky, and naturally didn't know about the intense compet. One Tian happening below. Right now, he was the fastest. Every flap of his wings allowed him to leap a large distance, and when he had glided to the peak, he flapped his wings again, easily and gracefully like a hawk in the sky. This is great. Hurry up and show yourself that diamond eagle, or else it will be very boring. Shen Xiang laughed leisurely. Hey, are you an idiot? A woman's voice sounded, startling Shen Xiang. Shen Xiang turned his head to look, only to see a girl in a blue dress standing beside him. He remembered that this girl was the one that had quietly asked Ji Quan if he could fly. The pair of translucent wings on the back of the girl in the blue dress fluttered extremely quickly, not gliding like Shen Xiang's. Her pair of wings would release a light blue glow when it fluttered, making her look extremely beautiful. You're the idiot. Shen Xiang laughed and said. The girl was extremely cute, with a beautiful oval face, cherry lips slightly pursed, and a pair of large eyes that shone with a curious light as she stared at Shen Xiang. Shen Xiang realized that there was a trace of a blue aurora in the girl's eyes, but her eyes were black. Why am I an idiot? You're the idiot, flying so high. The girl stuck out her tongue. Seeing that half of her tongue was cute, Shen Xiang had the urge to grab it. Shen Xiang laughed. When you talk to an idiot like me, it means that you are crazy. Besides, no matter how high you fly, you are still an idiot. You are an idiot among idiots, haha, you big idiot. Unexpectedly, the young girl wasn't angry, she only humphed tenderly and said, This person flew up to warn you out of good intentions, but you actually don't recognize his kind heart. Shen Xiang was startled, then laughed. Hee hee, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, miss, but who told you to ask me if I'm an idiot from the very beginning? The young girl revealed a smile that was extremely charming. This is the first time someone has addressed me as Miss. Little fellow, in my eyes, you are just a little bird that just broke its S-8. E-L-L. Shin Xiang once again sized up this girl. He discovered that other than her chest that was so big that it didn't make sense, she was basically a 14 or 15-year-old girl. Then Auntie, how old are you this year? Don't you find it boring to hang around with us little fellows? Shin Xiang mocked. Big sister, I'm over 500 years old. Your master is very knowledgeable, but didn't he tell you that there is an ancient clan on top of continent of the king? The girl played with her hair as she flew. Shin Xiang immediately flipped through the memories in his mind. Soon enough, he recalled Huang Jintian saying before that there was a race in the continent of the king that was not too old, and was even pregnant for 500 years. After birth, they would already have the power of genuine martial realm. Blue blood race. If the girl didn't mention it, he wouldn't have thought of it. Your master is the person who once defeated the strongest person in our blue blood race. So, I have to defeat you, do not look down on me. I also have the mortal king's bloodline. My bloodline is a special bloodline. The girl smiled and said, Don't worry. I will show mercy at that time. Shin Xiang suddenly thought of the name that was ranked third on the ranking board. Your name is Lon Lon? I am the Lon Lon who can't grow up. Ever since I was born, I've lived for 25 years and am still this brat. I will never grow up again, the young girl said somewhat vexedly. Shin Xiang thought that this girl was very interesting, and laughed. Lon Lon, Hercules is also like this, don't worry. Lon Lon shook her head. No, us blue blood race and the freaks of Hercules are different. We are like normal people, we will grow up when we deserve to. I won't waste any more time with you, I'll be leaving first. Lon Lon stuck out his tongue at Shin Xiang, made a mischievous face, then dove down, instantly increased his speed, and quickly left Shin Xiang behind. Seeing Lon Lan's speed, Shin Xiang was stunned. This little girl is also a freak. And it's even a guy who pretends to be young. Shin Xiang said to Long Shui. Long Shui, who was following him, was a super old guy, pretending to be a little girl. It was very dangerous in the air. Shin Xiang knew it very quickly, because he sensed that there were a few extremely strong auras in front, all of them from Ultimate Realm. Chapter 410. Fire Lightning Wings. Chapter 410. Fire lightning wings. Chen Xiang flew so high to avoid being blocked by others, but he never thought that there would be people waiting in the sky for him. Are these guys waiting for me? How did they know that I will go past here? Although Chen Xiang felt suspicious, but he wasn't worried. Just charge through them. They should be using talismans to communicate to allow them to prepare. Who asked you to have such an eye-catching pair of wings? If you were like the brat just now, it would be hard to discover you. Long Shuling said. Chen Xiang's wings suddenly increased its size by onefold, allowing the wings to be more powerful, hence the speed increased. There was indeed 6 persons floating in the sky in front waiting for him. Chen Xiang could tell that they used quite a bit of energy to allow their bodies to float from the aura they released. If they were to fight, they will definitely lose to Chen Xiang, and their motive for being here was just to delay time, making Chen Xiang slower than King's Continent disciples, finally making him lose the compet. 1 Tian. As expected that W.A.N. Ji Quan cheated, all is good, I can let him know that Chen Xiang isn't someone easy to bully. Chen Xiang was slightly furious in his heart. His wings suddenly shone with a bright golden light, making him look like he turned into a golden eagle, only that the light given out is mixed with red and gold instead. This is what happened when Chen Xiang merged Fire True Qi and Metal True Qi. He was very proficient in controlling the True Qi within his body and very flexible in using it, so doing this merger wasn't very hard. Those 6 Extreme Realm warriors all had a bad feeling after seeing Chen Xiang's huge golden eagle wings. Chen Xiang's wings was very big, when stretched it can reach tens of zhang, looking very shocking. It makes people think that it was a Pacific huge bird, and those golden eagle wings looks like it contains a very horrifying power. It's coming, said Big Guy with a dignified face. At this point, he wanted to run because he knew that the wings that are currently charging towards will surely bring about a very strong impact force. Can't stop it, quick run! One person shouted. The distance between Chen Xiang and them aren't very big, but seeing Chen Xiang posture, they all knew that it won't be long before colliding with Chen Xiang, and it looks like Chen Xiang intentionally charged towards them. Chen Xiang laughed loudly. You guys don't have the chance anymore. Suddenly his pair of wings wreathed with soul-stirring electric glow, allowing his speed to increase multiple folds. I'll bang you to death, shouted Chen Xiang, showing off his golden wings that is filled with powerful electric snakes, and Chen Xiang's body leaks out waves of golden light, bringing about incredibly towering killing pressure, like an furious dragon with wings. In an instant, Chen Xiang already went past where the 6 of them were at. While charging through there were a lot of heaven-shaking thunder cries along with those people's pitiful yells resounding throughout the area. Chen Xiang was able to feel the 6th person getting hit by the horrifying wings. His wings had energy of metal, fire and lightning. When it exploded at the same time the strength was very big, adding on the speed of impact the strength will multiple higher. With Chen Xiang's impact, he didn't know what happened to those 6 people as he had gone far away from that place. He also didn't care whether those people lived or died as he did not attack at all. What he did was very normal, he was just charging through. Chen Xiang is currently high up in the clouds, very far away from the ground. If people extreme realm fell from this height, the consequence would be very serious. They won't die, but it would definitely result in serious injury. His wings once again restored his wings to vermilion bird fire wings. Although the speed was very fast just now, it also taxing to maintain, because he still didn't know how long he would need to fly to reach the destination, and there would definitely have more obstructions in front, so he had to save some energy for it. It's that brat, Long Shuling said. Chen Xiang saw a young girl flying around the clouds, exuding strings of clear laughter, playing like a child. When she saw Chen Xiang, she flew towards him, and flew together. I'm so bored, if your speed is faster, we could fly together to the destination. Lan Lan pouted while saying, unexpectedly, she was waiting for Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang laughed bitterly. I had to defeat 6 people who were blocking me, haven't they blocked you? Lan Lan laughed. Of course not, why would they block me? Chen Xiang felt more depressed. That's it, your king's continent is blatantly bullying foreigners, aiming me purposely. Who asked you to be so powerful, making us lose face? Of course we would aim you, Lan Lan laughed. Chen Xiang curled his lips, although he knew that this was not fair. He did not care, besides this could be considered a test of his strength, to him this wasn't so bad at all. Why were you waiting for me? Wouldn't it be over if you fly to destination first? Chen Xiang raised his head and looked at Lan Lan who was flying above. This look could really kill, because he can see Lan Lan and her chest that doesn't tally up with her appearance. Even through the blue dress, it still looked very big. This made him think of the legend about having a childish look and huge. Brat, even though you look very small, but your chests are very big. Other would definitely not think that you are a little girl. Chen Xiang was stunned when he heard this, because this was said by Long Shuling. As Long Shuling have not feigned his voice for pranks for a very long time, Chen Xiang had already forgotten this naughty dragon's prank move. Lanlin's adorable small face turned red, her delicate eyebrows wrinkled and her face looked angry. Chen Xiang, you are a meanie. Chen Xiang secretly scolded Long Shuling as he hurriedly said, Ahem, This is true. You need to know that when men look at women, most of them will see the chest first, don't you think so? Of course I know. You don't need to tell me. Lan Lan gave a charming humph. Can you let me rub it? Long Shuling once again mimicked Chen Xiang's voice and said, while Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu were laughing in the ring. Rub your head, you meanie, I'm not going to talk to you any more, hung. Lon Lon sped up, flying away with a blush on her face. Long Shuling laughed. Can't even handle a bit of teasing, Chen Xiang angrily said. Little bee, you, T-Dragon, when you grow up you better pray that you won't have a big chest, if not I'll rub on it every day. It wasn't easy getting to know a chick in King's Continent, now it's all ruined, yeah. Wasn't easy knowing a big chest brat, you're having bad thoughts aren't you? You already have your sis Menger and Xian Xian's problem to solve. And both Xian Xian and your Menger's chest are as big as this brat's one, sis Meiyao and sis Yuyu's are also quite big. You should have seen before, hee. Long Shuling laughed. Chen Xiang thought about it, grinned. True, but this is troublesome, that brat will definitely hate me, perhaps during the sparring match she will not have mercy on me. Meanie, stop laughing, there are 1,000 of golden griffins in front. Quickly fly lower. Chen Xiang suddenly heard Lanlin's voice travel to his ears. Chapter 411 Inferno in the Sky. Chapter 411 Inferno in the Sky. Chen Xiang's impression of this brat was pretty good, so he laughed and said, Thank you, the reason why I flew so high up is to have a look the prowess of those golden griffins. Humph, you big idiot. Whatever, I'll wait for you at the destination, you better not withdraw after this round, I have to have a fight with you at the end. Lon Lon flew away very quickly, her speed was indeed very horrifying. Chen Xiang was only able to fly faster when he allowed his wings to grow bigger, that was the vermilion bird flame wings' true form. When activating it, his body will release flames, transforming into a shape of a huge bird, and from the ground it will look like a huge flame bird. Knowing that there was golden griffins in front, Chen Xiang grew agitated. From Wu Kaming, he knew that Spirit Hall was most proud of their golden griffins. Many people tried to borrow it from Spirit Hall 10,000 years ago for the Three Great Realm War but were rejected. Even disciples aren't allowed to bring them to fight either. Not only did Chen Xiang want to meet those golden griffins, he also let those golden griffins experience some pain. Because he wasn't happy with what Ji Quan did, sending people to stop him, he believed that other King's Continent warriors did not meet any obstacles on their way, only he met them. Golden griffins? I'll now let you know the vermilion bird's strength. Chen Xiang laughed, and his heart filled with antic. 1p Asian. Chen Xiang was on alert as he fly, but he still haven't see any golden griffins after flying tens of do, but he was still waiting very patiently. TL note, I have no idea what they meant by so yeah, the clouds in front. Watch out. Long Shuling warned. In front of Chen Xiang was a huge cloud pillar soaring into the sky. Upon having a closer look, Chen Xiang could see that there were small dots in the clouds, and those dots were actually golden griffins circling around it, creating a huge air vortex, sucking all the clouds in it, exposing Chen Xiang to the blue skies and leaving him with nowhere to hide. So many! Chen Xiang looked at the gigantic cloud pillar, and he can't help but exclaim in his heart. These golden griffins are definitely being controlled by someone. That person should be riding on the golden griffins, and it should be more than one person. Long Shuling said. Chen Xiang flew straight, and those small dots in the huge cloud pillar also gathered together. From afar it looks like a flock of birds, but Chen Xiang was very sure that those are a bunch of true martial realm 9th stage spirit beast, golden griffins. Golden griffin's feather were very hard, its wings can be used as a sharp knife, and their mouth can even spit out fire. Its flying speed was very fast, along with their sharp claws and beaks, it is able to cause huge threat to humans. Chen Xiang was in extreme realm. If he were to fight independently he wouldn't choose these 9th stage spirit realm beast, but now he wasn't fighting one, he was fighting thousands. If all of them were to come at him at one, even him will have a hard time. TL notes. Sounds weird I know, but it just means that if he wouldn't choose to fight 9th stage true martial realm as it was too easy. The golden griffins from afar approaches quickly. Chen Xiang's wings also becomes more and more bigger, becoming hundreds of zhang in a blink of an eye. Chen Xiang unceasingly released the vermilion bird true qi within his body. The 1000 true element Dan that contains vigorous true Qi gushes out, Chen Xiang's wings continuously expands, burning with fierce flames, forming a sea of flames. When Lan Lan saw the huge wings she was shocked till her jaws dropped, exclaiming, "This meanie is so strong, what is he planning to do?" "Almost," Chen Xiang said with a slight sigh of relief. He stretched his huge wings that is already thousands of zhang wide. When he flapped it, the wind generated was imaginable. Those warriors riding the golden griffins slowed down after seeing. They knew that Chen Xiang wanted to resist them. Seeing the magnificent pair of huge flame wings, feeling the incomparably scalding hot air wave, they were considering whether they wanted to continue on. A total of 8 people riding the golden griffins, and their strengths are all at extreme realm, each bringing 1,000 golden griffins and flying towards Chen Xiang. "No need to be afraid, we have 8,000 golden griffins, no matter how strong he is, he will be surrounded by golden griffins, just waste him," a male shouted. When Chen Xiang heard this, he was furious in his heart and immediately he roars. Inferno tornado. Chen Xiang suddenly spins, and his wings followed suit. Firstly, it was waves of intense heat spreading all around, following it was a strong suction force. Some big trees and stones got uprooted and attracted under the suction force. With Chen Xiang spinning, it forms a huge flaming tornado reaching up to a few thousand zhangs wide. The scene was shocking and horrifying, similar to the end of world. Clouds from all sides are being attracted over, making the clouds very thick, and when they bump into each other, it erupts crazy lightnings, and those lightnings were also being attracted into Chen Xiang's tornado. Originally those golden griffins are charging at Chen Xiang, but now it was too late. When they tried to run away from the scary fire lightning tornado, it was already too late. The tornado was too huge, thus causing a very strong suction force. Those golden griffins are like ants in front of this huge tornado. In a short amount of time, they were all inside the huge tornado that contains intense heat and crazy thunder. "This guy is too perverse. I almost got implicated." Lan Lan gasped for mouthful of breaths. Those voluptuous chests continuously rise and fall, as she looked at the huge fire lightning tornado filled with destruction with lingering fear. Those nearby all saw it, and most of them are competing warriors. They all heard the lighting sound, but there is a familiar sound mixed in it. It was the wails of thousands of golden griffins. Chen Xiang was madly laughing while spinning. Furthermore, he was constantly releasing what attributed lightning qi, making the lightning more crazy. The inside of this huge tornado became a purgatory. People inside it cannot resist at all. The only thing they can do is to receive punishment. This was Chen Xiang's Inferno Tornado. Last time he used this move to fight the Devil Dao warriors, but back then his strength was still weak, so the tornado was very small. Compared to before, the current tornado was bigger by few hundredfold. The huge tornadoes surrounding hills and lush forests was all sucked into the tornado. Lan Lan personally saw a mountain thousands of zhang tall slowly getting sucked into the tornado, finally totally vanished. Hi+ing into the tornado. In the tornado is the tyrannical heavenly sun, fire and crazy lightning. When fused together, its might was incomparable. Ha 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 ha, I thought that a group of golden griffins were very powerful, turns out it was only mediocre, ha ha. Chen Xiang's mad laughter was similar to a devil, reverberating in all direction. When people heard it, they were absolutely terrified. Chapter 412. Unending Obstacles. Chapter 412. Unending obstacles. Chen Xiang spun unceasingly. The large tornado looks like it won't stop, madly extracting everything from the ground. Wherever it went, it turns the area into a flat land. Those golden griffins that got sucked into the tornado will collide with either a huge rock or another golden griffin, while being baked by the heat and struck by the lightning. Those few people were also the same, but they didn't die immediately, only physically devastated. The golden griffins and the few extreme realm warriors are only at beginner stage of spirit martial realm. Their strength are far below Chen Xiang, so it was very difficult for them to escape Chen Xiang's domineering techniques. Furthermore, they were now heavily injured. When Cheng Xiang felt that he was only left with half of Vermilion Bird Chi and Azure Dragon Chi, he quickly stopped his skill, only to see those golden griffins and few people dropping, thousands of golden griffins wailing in low voices and falling heavily to the ground, leaving a lot heavy casualties. Chen Xiang breathed a sigh of relief, and the wings behind his back turned small again. He found his direction, flapped his wings, flew up to the sky and continued towards the destination W.A.N. Ji Quan came when Chen Xiang just left not long ago. He rushed here immediately after receiving an emergency notification saying that there were very heavy casualty here. Seeing the group of unconscious golden griffins on the ground, and listening to these weak cries, veins popped out from W.A.N. Ji Quan's fist. Old W.A.N.G. As I have said before, don't belittle him. It was you who originally planned to use the golden griffins to stop him, so his counterattack was very normal. You can only say that you brought this upon yourself. I advise you to better not use dirty moves. If you make him mad, it might cause death. Gu Dongchen said. W.A.N. Ji Quan gasped for breath, suppressing his anger as it slowly disappears. He gave a cold humph. This was part of the rules. I didn't stop him on purpose. Seeing W.A.N. Ji Quan, Gu Dongchen followed behind as he was afraid that W.A.N. Ji Quan would attack Chen Xiang. Ai, there is only death of spirit beasts now. If you were to stop him again, the next death would be some people. Gu Dongchen sighed and said, those who were riding on the golden griffins didn't die, but they were very heavily injured. From the start, those who tried to stop Chen Xiang all died, except for those few just now who had heavy injuries. W.A.N. Ji Quan didn't want to stop Chen Xiang. All he wanted is to delay Chen Xiang, but he didn't know that Chen Xiang had such a strong killing skill. Even thousands of golden griffins can't do anything. Instead they got suppressed by Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang is blowing whistle while soaring in the sky. At this point his mood was very good because he knew that the deaths of those golden griffins would bleed Spirit Hall. Furthermore, this was all because they asked for it. His mother, if someone tries to stop me again, I will personally attack them. Chen Xiang suddenly very look forward to meeting people sent by Spirit Hall. Hey, your move just now was very powerful, but the consumption is very high. It is only suitable for people who are weaker than you. If it was used against me, it would be useless. Lan Lan came again from the top of Chen Xiang. Brat, why do you always follow me? I am a big meanie. Is it because I'm too handsome? Chen Xiang happily said with a smile. Pay. You narcissistic guy, I was only bored. I don't know how long I would still need to fly this compet. 1. Tian was too boring. There is also nothing to relieve my boredom. Lan Lan gently sighed. Why don't you go find your King's Continent warriors? Why did you find me? Chen Xiang also don't understand why he was targeted by this brat. They are too slow, and you are the only one that flies. The others are all running, totally unable to talk to at all. Lan Lan said, forget it. I'd better fly faster and reach the destination as soon as possible, so bored. Lan Lan's speed made Chen Xiang jealous, and she seemed like she was flying with ease. He could only sigh as he still didn't know how many more things would be waiting for him on the road. He guessed that his compet. 1. Tian was held because of him, because he had the powerful dragon force. If it was a face-to-face fight, W.A.N. Ji Quan had no confidence in his disciples at all. For Chen Xiang to lose, this was the only method to eliminate him. Thinking to this point, Chen Xiang was furious. This was also the reason why he purposely didn't hide himself, was to allow those waiting in ambush to discover him. This way he could heavily injure them as a way to relieve his dissatisfaction in his heart. 2 days pass. Said, in the middle of the night, Chen Xiang suddenly saw a beam of light shooting from the ground to the sky. Just as he felt odd, he sensed a very strong pressure, making him stop immediately. Chen Xiang flapped his wings, allowing his heavy body to land on the ground. He found out what the beam of white light was. It was a formation that creates pressure. If it wasn't for his quick reaction, he would most likely crashed fiercely. This was a big formation. In order to eliminate you, the Spirit Hall has spent quite a lot. Su Meiyao said. Chen Xiang roared. He used a palm with dragon force on the ground, only to see to the circuit. Inference of several miles split open, the ground starts to shake crazily, and the forest was immediately ruined. There's people, watch out! Su Meiyao abruptly shouted. Chen Xiang already sensed those people's aura. It was 4-person and all of them are at extreme realm. That formation along with the ground had already been destroyed, so the pressure was also gone, but Chen Xiang didn't choose to fly but to confront the 4-person walking towards him. In the darkness, 4 people in black suddenly appeared around Chen Xiang. Seeing Chen Xiang's natural face, as if he was waiting for them, their hearts all felt very shocked. After they appeared, they raised their hand without any second words and a strange energy spout out from their palms. In a blink of an eye, appeared a complicated spirit pattern formation under Chen Xiang's feet. Once the formation appeared, Chen Xiang's complexion changed drastically because he can't use true qi. The worst thing is that his body cannot move too. Seeing Chen Xiang's complexion, those 4 men in black looked very haughty. Chen Xiang quickly calmed down. He coldly laughed. Aren't you guys gonna attack? We are only responsible to hold you down. The person to attack you will come shortly after, a person coldly said. Chen Xiang wrinkled his brows, feeling hateful in his heart. Both his feet are now closely attracted to the ground and unable to move at all. Furthermore, he could not use true qi. If someone were to come, he would be in a dangerous situation. It seems like this big formation is laid down by you, but it was easily broken by me. Chen Xiang was unexpectedly calm now, and this made the 4 men in black feel worried. However, when it comes to this formation where they collaborated, they were still quite confident. Furthermore, the person that is coming to deal with Chen Xiang is also reaching soon. When the time comes, it would be Chen Xiang's turn to be heavily injured. Chen Xiang could not use true qi or move. But his mouth can still move, so his magic powers can be used. This way, he could display his divine sense, and use magic to gather strength using qi of heaven and earth to attack. Chapter 4:13. Grasping Soul Talisman. Chapter 4:13. Grasping Soul Talisman. Chen Xiang realized that the 4 persons setting up the formation could not simply move, because if they moved, it would affect the formation. Otherwise the 4-person would have already attacked Chen Xiang. Seeing this point, Chen Xiang was secretly delighted in his heart, because if he is able to disturb them, this formation will break, and then he would be able to use true qi again. You underestimate our big formation. Even if you break the ground, the formation will still exist. The main crux of the formation still exists. You only destroyed a small formation, said a guy in black. Chen Xiang laughed. Even at this situation he was able to laugh. This made the 4 men in black instantly on alert, but no matter how much they think, they can't understand how Chen Xiang would escape this formation. Furthermore, there was someone coming over to beat Chen Xiang. As long as that person reaches first, it will spell doom for Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang was already able to detect the person running over. That person was also Spirit Martial Realm beginning stage. Divine Martial Palace wouldn't dare to use cultivators of high cultivation, otherwise it would be too much. That is why they spent so much effort to set up formation and use golden griffins to block Chen Xiang. The transformations in 72 transformation technique not only allow user to transform themselves but also use spiritual energy to create something from nothing, like Chen Xiang's illusionary brilliant furnace was also one of the transformation techniques. Just that he isn't proficient in it. After that, he went to ask Long Shui for advice to understand this transformation technique better. He already grasped the main point and now he only need to display it. The spiritual energy the cultivated from SHI+2 was colorless and shapeless. Only those with strong divine sense was able to sense this kind of energy. Even deans like Gu Dongchen was currently unable to sense it. Chen Xiang released his spiritual strength and chants the incantation, controlling the released spiritual strength to flow to the back of those men in black. This moment their complexion changed because they discovered that behind the back of their teammates congealed a glowing short sword. This was Chun Xiang's display of his 72 transformation, creating something from nothing. Those short swords was made with spiritual strength by condensing spirit qi from heaven and earth, and its might is not small. Normal warrior can also use true qi to congeal this kind of energy sword, but they need to use their own true qi and their area of control is also very small. But Chun Xiang doesn't need it. He is able to congeal this energy weapon as long as it is in his sight. You underestimated me. Chun Xiang laughed loudly. Those 4 short swords under his divine sense fiercely shot forward, penetrating the 4 person's back, and then explodes, making a B-L-O-O-D-Y hole on the back of those 4 person. The formation binding Chun Xiang was also gone. Chun Xiang once again controlled his thick true qi, only to see him explode loudly. The true qi within his body gushed out, under his control. It became very vigorous, and explodes from his body, forming waves of very strong and filled destructive force qi wave, sending those 4 men in black flying. Those 4 men in black was already injured from the piercing and explosion of the energy short sword, adding in the explosion of true qi from Chun Xiang. All their meridians were broken, and they fainted on the spot. Chun Xiang looked at the black-clothed persons lying on the ground, coldly humphed and jumped to the sky. Just when he was going to release his vermilion bird fire wings, he was pressured by a strong energy, making he fall to crash into the ground. Darn, that formation is still there. Chun Xiang felt the person coming closer, although the speed of the person was slower. As the person gets closer, Chun Xiang felt more and more dangerous. Therefore he wanted to quickly run away. If he tangled with that person, it would delay a lot of time. If Divine Martial Palace was able to delay him, it would make him fall behind significantly. That way he would be eliminated. Should be a blood warrior, his true qi is different of others. True qi and body needs to be stronger than average. I think it should be because of the blood in his body, but I have never heard of this kind of clan. Dali clan is different from them, Herculean clan from ancient time where it was because of a special breeding method. This human king clan is stronger than the Herculean clan. Their bloodlines are definitely not simple. Long Shui said. Chun Xiang released the water vine, coiled around the 4 fainted person in black. He quickly brought them to him, and used the grasping soul devil curse taught by Bai Yu to search their memory in hopes to break the formation. Very quickly, he found it. At this moment he was very shocked by Divine Martial Palace's handiwork. This formation was completed on a large stone plate, and the stone plate was deep underground where they were at. Movable formation. This formation's cost is not cheap. The cost for the formation plate is very high, and there is a need to put a lot of cornerstones, usually a lot of top-grade crystal stones and items with a lot of energy is needed. If this formation plate was destroyed, Divine Martial Palace would probably cry. Su Meiyao laughingly said. Usually when you lay down formations it would always be on the ground, but this formation that could stop Chun Xiang from flying in the sky is a type where it would be laid down on a big stone plate to move it. The formation energy given out from the stone plate can cover a lot of ground, and only rich sects could afford this kind of formation. Chun Xiang got a lot of information from those 4 people's memory, and it is all about laying formations, but having these memories doesn't mean that he could instantly lay down formations, but these were all precious experiences. He suddenly found out that grasping soul devil curse was very strong. In this way, he was able to quickly learn a lot of things. A lot of formation techniques were now in his memory, so he decided try it out next time. Next he continued to use Grasping Soul Devil Curse to search those 4 men's memory for formations. There was a lot of information. It's like his head was going to explode. If not for his formidable spirit, he would be unable to contain all these memories. Although his head hurts, his face was filled with happiness. He knew that those 4 people was a decent formation master, but now all their knowledge on formation is shared with Chun Xiang. Quickly destroy the formation. That guy is coming, Long Shui said. Chun Xiang nodded his head, and fly towards one direction. He now knew where the formation plate is at, and he planned to lure the Blood Warrior and use the formation against that Blood Warrior from the memory of the four-person in black. He knew that the formation plate has great use. Not only can it be used to prevent people from flying in the sky, it has also great defensive and offensive energy. That formation plate was originally protecting a herb garden in Divine Martial Palace, W.A.N. Ji Quan wanted to increase the chance of winning against Chen Xiang, so he temporarily used it against him. Magic changed to spiritual strength. Dali clan changed to Herculean clan. Long Shuling was the wrong name, it was actually Long Shui. Chapter 4:14 Night Clash. Chapter 4:14 Night Clash. Chen Xiang quickly reached the top of the array disk. As long as he destroyed the array disk below, he could escape and avoid fighting with the Bloodline Warrior. He, who told you to do this to me? This is the price you have to pay. A layer of white aurora slowly appeared on Chen Xiang's palm. As this type of aurora leaked out, the ground started to shake frantically. Chen Xiang bellowed and struck the ground with his palm, using the draconic strength to release the heaven-shaking palm. One could imagine the power behind it. The powerful shockwave once again swept through the entire ground, and the entire ground became overturned by Chen Xiang. The formation plate under his feet was also pierced through by the heaven-shaking palm and shattered into pieces. Divine Martial Hall is going to pay a huge price this time. Chen Xiang laughed and fiercely jumped into the air, releasing a pair of Suzaku fire wings. The moment Chen Xiang flapped his wings, a shout came from the ground. Stop! Chen Xiang did not pay attention to him and continued flying. That was the Bloodline Warrior of the Divine Martial Hall. Although Chen Xiang wanted to fight with him, he had to rush. If he was slow, he would be eliminated, and he was not willing to be eliminated in this kind of combat. One Tian. Look at the blade. Chen Xiang, who was flying at a high speed, was suddenly shocked, because in front of him was a middle-aged man. The middle-aged man had a hexagonal flying plate beneath his feet, holding a golden blade high in the air. He slashed at Chen Xiang, causing the blade to light up, and from the body of the blade, hundreds of blade images erupted. Chen Xiang could not understand why this person would suddenly appear in front of him. Fortunately, he had reacted quickly and kept his Suzaku fire wing, allowing himself to fall down to the ground so he could avoid the blade image. B-A-S-T-A-R-D. Since you're using weapons, don't blame me for being impolite. Ever since Chen Xiang had stepped into the ultimate realm, he had not used many Green Dragon Demon-Slain broadsword to fight, and now that he saw his opponent using weapons to attack him, he did not hold back either. With a thought, the Green Dragon Demon-Slain broadsword appeared in her hands. At this time, he had already reached the ground. Originally, I did not plan to play around with you. However, since you all want me to die so badly, I will not do anything about it. Chen Xiang did not care about the combat. Tian anymore. He only wanted to vent the anger in his heart through his powerful body. Long Shui said, the flying discs under his feet are not simple, they can actually conceal auras. The middle-aged man with a golden blade appeared in front of Chen Xiang. He looked at him indifferently and said disdainfully, I heard that your blade is powerful, but it seems that it's only to this extent. Chen Xiang frowned. His blade had moved slightly, but a line-like crack suddenly appeared on the ground, and directly pierced through the middle-aged man's groin. Although Chen Xiang's blade only moved for a moment, he had actually hacked down on it just now. It was just that his speed was too fast, so fast that no one could see him brandish. Plusing his blade and hacking down. The middle-aged man was still standing on the hexagonal flying disc. He could feel that the hexagonal flying disc had already been destroyed when Chen Xiang brandished his blade. Not only was Chen Xiang's blade fast, the blade force that he released was extremely special. He had used the cosmic genuine qi, and with his precise control of the blade and the method of using the Taiji dragon suppressed kung fu, He allowed the green dragon demon-slain broadsword to slash out a thin blade force that cut the middle-aged man's hexagonal flying disc into two. "The thing at your feet must be very expensive." Chen Xiang laughed. His words angered your middle-aged man. The middle-aged man roared. He waved his blade and pounced towards Chen Xiang. His blade technique was extremely fast. He slashed out continuously, with a series of beautiful hand seals. Chen Xiang had no choice but to block. This guy's blade is not simple. Chen Xiang had used a lot of power when defending, but he did not destroy his opponent's golden blade, as he had imagined. After blocking a few times, Chen Xiang realized that there was something strange about it. Before her green dragon demon-slain broadsword could even touch his opponent's golden blade, it would be shaken by a strange power. The opponent's attack was extremely fast, and Chen Xiang had to continuously block it. He told this to Su Meiyao and the others, and Bai Yu said, "That blade of his should have been infused with some other person's power, and should have been condensed with the innate qi to form some sort of special power. Only by covering this blade with the power of the innate qi, would it be able to make it extremely firm, and also have the power of the royal power's nirvana realm." Chen Xiang now understood why this blade was so terrifying, and why the blade wielder was a bloodline warrior. Previously, during the points compet. 1. Tian, the Qiusheng he met wasn't using the innate qi, so he wasn't able to understand the power of the bloodline warrior, but now, the middle-aged man he was fighting with was actually a bloodline warrior who was using the innate qi. The feeling Chen Xiang had was that bloodline warrior and Hercules were similar. They were both able to transform their innate qi into a type of bizarre energy and fuse it into their own bodies, allowing the two forces to fuse into one and then erupt again, forming an extremely powerful force. Thunder innate qi. Chen Xiang was able to determine the opponent's innate qi's original form. This middle-aged man had hidden it very well, and after he used the innate qi, he would change into another type of energy that was full of explosive power, making it hard to discern him. Under the dark night sky, on the ground filled with wounds, the glow of a blade could be seen. Chen Xiang had only been defending and did not counterattack, which made the middle-aged man suspicious, because he knew Chen Xiang's strength was not only limited to this. The middle-aged man cut down with his blade, but Chen Xiang was unable to block it this time. His golden blade slashed at Chen Xiang's waist, causing him to be greatly shocked, because Royal Elder had ordered him not to kill Chen Xiang, otherwise the consequences would be dire. When his golden blade slashed at Chen Xiang's waist, Chen Xiang exploded into a cloud of mist. Chen Xiang used water mirror technique, using water vapor to condense it into an illusion, and then he used his fastest speed to leave the place. When the middle-aged man was still in shock, a few days later, a water tank-thick water vine suddenly appeared from the ground, tightly locking the middle-aged man down. "I have no time to waste with you." Chen Xiang slowly walked over and fiercely slashed at the golden blade held up by the middle-aged man. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword let out a roar that sounded like a furious dragon. It flickered with a piercing green light and cut the golden blade in half. Without the middle-aged man's power, the golden blade became extremely weak. In just a moment, it was shattered into pieces by the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. "What are you doing?" The middle-aged man never thought that Chen Xiang's water vine would be so strong, but when he was struggling, the water vine already showed signs of loosening up. Right now, he understood why Chen Xiang kept blocking and not retaliating, in order to exhaust his power. Chen Xiang laughed sinisterly. He retreated a few steps, only to see his lips moving slightly as he chanted a strange incantation. The air above the middle-aged man was surging with wind and clouds, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. "Heavenly Dragon Seal!" Chen Xiang's eyes flashed, and a dragon's roar came from the sky. A giant golden dragon claw descended from the sky, SMAs. HI+ing onto the middle-aged man who was being entangled by the water vine. In a split second, a golden light exploded, illuminating half of the sky. A huge crater appeared on the ground, and the soil that was blown away flew into the air, and then fell down, as if it was raining earth. The middle-aged man was covered in mud and stones. He slowly wriggled his body and let out a painful groan. Chen Xiang had long released his Suzaku fire wing and flew in the night sky. Chapter 4:15 Endpoint. Chapter 4:15 Endpoint. The sky brightens. Seeing the distant sunrise, Chen Xiang felt elated. He didn't know about others, but he knew that it wasn't easy for him. He had went through ups and downs to arrive here. At this point he was already very near the endpoint. Although he was delayed, he still thinks that he was the faster one. He estimated that he would at least be able to enter top 10. Originally he believed that he could get first, but seeing that young girl Lanlin's horrifying speed, he knew that he was too proud. This king's continent had quite a lot of young strong warriors. He could guarantee that those in the top 50 in the points compet. 1. Tian would have decent speed. If they did not get obstructed, they might have overtook him. Thinking until here, Chen Xiang was furious. It was all because of W.A.N. Ji Quan's delay his time by planning a lot of ambush. Of course, thinking that on his way here, he also made Divine Martial Palace a lot of losses. He was secretly happy in his heart, because he can get to see W.A.N. Ji Quan's angry yet helpless face. The biggest reward this trip was that he got the 4 Formation Master's memories. Those memories are very precious. Through grasping Soul Devil Curse, Chen Xiang was able to imprint it in his own memory. After simple absorption, it would become his. Others would need a lot of time to emulate all those rich formation experience, but Chen Xiang could do it in a while. It wasn't that Formation Masters were not a good option, it is just that it would take a lot of resources, especially during learning phase. Furthermore, there is also some danger of formation exploding if there was a slight mistake during the setting up of formation or any other actions that is dangerous. Chen Xiang have heard that there was quite a lot of people who died when setting up the formation. As long as he could efficiently use those precious memories, he could be a Formation Master in the near future. Furthermore, he had the Refiner's Scroll. The spirit patterns in the Refiner's Scroll were all regarded as treasures in the eyes of Lu Menger. After absorbing the memories of the 4 people, he had a solid foundation. Now he only need to spend some time in this aspect again. After being skilled in formations, will he be able to start refining weapons? Chen Xiang was soaring above the clouds. Although he had a pair of huge fire wings, he had the clouds as cover, so the people below couldn't see him. But with his strong divine sense, he was able to clearly observe the ground. On his way he found out 20+ person going all out DOS. HI+ing, their speed was very fast. Chen Xiang guessed that they was continuously flying, not even stopping once. Based on his calculation, even if they were running with that speed, it would be impossible to take 10+ days to rush here. He guessed that there was definitely some trickery here, maybe W.A.N. Ji Quan helped these disciples to cheat. Since the distance is very big, Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming would definitely not know what happened. There was a lot of people in Divine Martial Palace. Helping those disciples to cheat wasn't hard. Even though this was the case, Chen Xiang was still able to overtake these 20 individuals. As he accelerates his speed, he discovered more Partic. 1p. Aiding martial warriors. This compet. 1. Tian eliminates 30 people. Now that there are 30 people behind me, if nothing unexpected happens, I would be able to pass this round. Chen Xiang relaxed slightly. If he was eliminated because of Divine Martial Palace's tampering, he would be angry for a very long time. Just thinking about this did not make him feel good. 3 days pass. Said, Chen Xiang once again caught up on a few more people, and the ending point was just in front. It was a very tall summit, and the summit had flat ground, and on it is a very big bronze bell. As long as he sounds the bell, it will be counted as reaching the end point. Although Chen Xiang could see, but there was still some distance, that summit was very high, directly piercing through the clouds. if it was running from the ground it would take very long to climb up to the summit. Full speed ahead. Chen Xiang was worried that there would be unexpected accidents at the last moment, so he used up all his true qi to fly, only to see his vermilion bird fire wings suddenly increased in size, and both his feet were shooting out azure true qi. This was the azure dragon true qi's wind energy. There would also be occasional violent thunder, increasing the explosive force, not to mention his speed. There were some people sandong on the summit. From afar they saw Chen Xiang flapping the majestic fire wings, and his feet shooting out azure dragon qi BALS while flying. It made everyone's countenance change, because these kind of speed and impact force was very shocking. While Chen Xiang is flying over, he was banging the air producing bursts of explosion. Originally the distance between him and the summit was still very far, but under his full speed dash, his speed had increased multiple folds, making him look like a flash of light, dragging the green-red light, shooting straight for the summit. Chen Xiang did a flip in the air, and beautifully landed on the summit's flat ground, quickly walked to the bell and rang it. Hearing the bell resounded through heaven and earth, Chen Xiang gave out a long sigh of relief. After the resounding bell sound vanish, did they hear an elder shout, "Chen Xiang, position 15th. Lan Lan came beside Chen Xiang said lightly, 15th, you are so slow. Chen Xiang laughed. Brat, if you were blocked by a few Nirvana Realm warriors at the start, then surrounded and attacked by tens of thousands of golden griffins, and then your true qi suppressed by 4 formation masters, and finally a blood warrior wielding a brilliant weapon to attack you, can you be this fast? Luckily those guys are trash. Those Nirvana Realm warriors have already been finished by me. Those tens of thousands of golden griffins should be either dead or seriously injured. As for those 4 formation masters, haha, they were also stabbed by me, their meridians broken too. That idiot blood warrior who uses the brilliant weapon got his weapon broken, and beaten heavily. Although there are a lot of obstacles, they were all useless. While Chen Xiang was talking, he was looking at Ji Quan. Ji Quan's complexion was not looking good. Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming's complexion were equally bad, because when they were waiting there, those who arrived early all said that there were actually no obstacles blocking them, and they came here easily. But Chen Xiang continuously met with obstacles. Furthermore, it was targeted at him. There was even a blood warrior wielding a treasured sword to attack Chen Xiang. It's unavoidable, Chen Xiang. You are a guest of King's Continent, of course we have to take special care of you, but you did very well, and returned the favor, a big favor. Lien Yingxiao laughed and said, Divine Martial Palace tried to steal a chicken with rice but lose everything instead. They lost a lot of warriors. Chen Xiang was from Qinwu mainland, and several big shots from Qinwu mainland were waiting here for him. Hua Xiangyue smiled. King's Continent is so hospitable, but you guys lost too much face. You can't even stop a kid with so many people, but still allowed him to get placed 15th, successfully. Paas said. Ji Quan, don't you think your method ID very disgusting? If you don't like Chen Xiang Partic. 1p. Aiding in the King's martial compet. 1. Tian, you only need to say and I guarantee that he will withdraw. Is it necessary to use despicable means? Tell you what, don't think that because you are the highest person in power in King's Continent that I will be afraid. If there is a next time, Lu Menger will definitely fight it out with you. Lu Menger's angry sentence carried a chill that lingers on the whole summit. This tall mountain was instantly covered in thick frost. That peculiar cold energy makes people have the urge to kneel down and wars. Hi+P. The whole summit was dead silence. Ji Quan frowned and removes the strange coldness in his body. A lot of people couldn't understand why Lu Menger was this mad. Chapter 416, Big Gift. Chapter 416. Big Gift. Gu Dongchen and Lien Yingxiao looked at each other. They knew the relations. Hi+P between Chen Xiang and Lu Menger. They just didn't know it was so deep that it could make this empress so mad. As for Wu Keiming and other big shots, they only thought that Lu Menger was angry for his disciple's husband. Ji Quan, you might not know. This brat is an honorary chief alchemist of our Danxiang Taoyuan. He is the guest of Danxiang Taoyuan. Hua Xiangyue laughed coldly. Now Divine Martial Palace knows that Chen Xiang not only had Gu Dongchen, Wu Keiming and Huang Jintian as his backing, he also had these two powerful ladies. Ji Quan's brows were already covered in frost. He took a deep breath. He knew that Lu Menger had crossed the Nirvana seventh tribulation, and she cultivates cold wind divine exercise, which is very formidable. Of course, Lu Menger's parents were the previous era's characters. Not even Huang Jintian dared to fight them. Although Lu Menger said that her parents have already ascended to heaven realm, no one know whether they left behind many influence and befriended hidden strong warriors when they ascended. If they were to band together with Divine Weapon Heavenly Empire, Divine Martial Palace naturally wouldn't be scared, but they must consider the lost. I didn't aim him, just that. Just that people of Divine Martial Palace have heard of his name before, and they all wanted to spar with him. Ji Quan haven't even finished speaking and Gu Dongchen interrupted. But is this fair for him? This is you dereliction of duty. Are you going to just leave it like this? Ji Quan frowned. Gu Dongchen wanted him to apologize to Chen Xiang, but he was the highest person in power in this king's continent, Divine Martial Palace's palace master. How could he personally apologize to the ant like Chen Xiang? It wasn't because of the dereliction of duty of our Divine Martial Palace, it is just that Chen Xiang pass. Said by the ambush locations by chance, that's why the ambusher attacked. Ji Quan said coldly. That's not the reason. Suddenly, a timid voice sounded. Although it was soft, everyone basically heard it. They all looked at the same place at the same time, only to find out the person who spoke was beautiful young girl wearing blue dress. When her pair of cute eyes rotated, it even has blue lights. The big shots waiting here all knew that this young girl was the first to reach the end, but none of them have any knowledge of her. Lan, seeing that everyone was looking at her, stuck out her tongue and said softly, "Earlier when I was on my way, I met those keys too, but they didn't block me. The guys riding the lion even asked me to go further away." Chen Xiang can't help it but to laugh, but his heart was feeling weird. He always thought that Lan was part of Divine Martial Palace, but from the looks of it, she wasn't, otherwise saying these things would be equal to giving Ji Quan a tight slap in the face. Brat you, Ji Quan glared at Lan, only to see Lan make faces at him, her face not containing any trace of fear. This made the crowd instantly liked the young girl in blue dress, and they knew that this Lan is also not simple, otherwise it would be impossible to fly to the end point so quickly. Furthermore, she is unafraid of Ji Quan. Although she speaks very softly and looks very timid, her face had fearless written over her whole face. What I said is true. I have also seen that golden blade bear. That stupid bear even told me his plan, saying something about using a very powerful group formation to imprison this naughty Chen Xiang, making him unable to use true chi or move, and the Golden Blade Bear's mission is to cut off both of Chen Xiang's arms. Lan said angrily when she saw Ji Quan being mad at her. Hearing Lan call Chen Xiang naughty, Lu Menger and Hua Xiangyue rolled their eyes at Chen Xiang, and Chen Xiang was so embarrassed. Said that he can't even raise his head up. He didn't think that Lan, this girl who looked timid, would dare to say so much details. Lan brat you Ji Quan was breathless. He raised his hands, but had to put it down, as there was a lot of people watching. Furthermore, what Lan said was also true. Ji Quan previously insisted that he didn't aim Chen Xiang, but after Lan, this king's continent warrior, testified, this was simply plusing him to the abyss. Don't think that I'm scared of you because my grandfather died. Humfar Lan family isn't as simple as you think. If necessary, our Lan family can destroy your Divine Martial Palace anytime. Seeing that Ji Quan wanted to hit her, she was very angry and said tenderly Ji Quan gave a cold humph, jumped and flew away. If not, Gu Dongchen might force him to apologize to Chen Xiang. This moment, an elderly said, "There is still one more challenge. After clearing the next challenge, it would be martial arts compet. 1. Tian last, now you have 3 days of rest. After 3 days, the next challenge will start. Chen Xiang, you better withdraw." Hua Xiangyue said, "I have already reached this point. If I give up now, wouldn't my suffering previously be for nothing?" Chen Xiang smiled lightly. If it wasn't for the fruit of fortune as reward, he would have quitted long ago. But he was confident in himself. Moreover, the gap between now and the final martial arts compet 1. Tian were also not big. He would be able to get the heavenly grade pill and the fruit of fortune quickly. Hua Xiangyue can also see that Chen Xiang came for the fruit of fortune. If it wasn't for her Danxiang Taoyuan disciple being incompetent, she will also make her disciples come and compete. Elder Ding, your divine martial palace should be more sincere. Although divine martial palace has the most influence in King's continent, you should know that it is only on the surface. Our Wu village and Blue Blood clan is only disinclined to care about worldly affairs. If you guys do things too far, we will do the necessary move, in order to avoid you throwing the King clan's honor. Wu Keiming said. Chen Xiang now know that there is still other powerful influences in King's continent. The Wu Canghong that Chen Xiang previously met should be Wu Keiming's old ancestor. Elder Ding nodded. I will speak with the palace master. He truly overdid it this time. Ji Quan's disastrous defeat by Huang Jintian was known by many. Everyone suspected that Ji Quan wanted to get revenge because of the matters in the past, so he intentionally made things difficult for Chen Xiang. There was a lot of houses on the summit, but due to the temperature being low and Lu Menger's ice true chi she released just now, the house were all covered in frost, making it more freezing, but now Lu Menger released flames to melt those frosts. Lu Menger's purple fire spirit had ice characteristics, so her ice true chi was more overbearing. This was also part of Lu Menger's hidden strength. Chen Xiang wasn't angry. He was now inside a room, digesting the memories. He treated those memories as a big present by Ji Quan. Those 4 formation masters' knowledge on formations far exceeds his expectation. Those 4 people studied different things. When added together it becomes more astonies. Hi plus ing. Other than knowledge on formations and formations setting up experiences, Chen Xiang also obtained 3 of Divine Martial Palace as secret skill. These 4 people must be important characters in Divine Martial Palace. Obtaining these secret skills was only average. The best part is that he now knew a lot of Divine Martial Palace's secret. For example, location of Divine Martial Palace's mysterious medicine garden, how to deal with the formation in the medicine garden, and Divine Martial Palace's martial arts pavilion, Divine Martial Palace's alchemy rooms, and Divine Martial Palace's dungeon, and so forth. Because these 4 people needed to lay formations there to protect those top secret places, therefore they were very clear on it. But now, Chen Xiang had all those memories. Chapter 4:17. Evil Demon Mysterious Realm. Chapter 4:17. Evil Demon Mysterious Realm. Chen Xiang learnt from the memory that Divine Martial Palace's medicine garden only has 1 fruit of fortune, and it is still hanging on a dead tree. Furthermore, there is unexpectedly some 5 elements true elemental pill and foundation building pills precious materials. There was 2 white jade lotus and 2 life returning GRAs. Other than those, there is also quite a lot of herbs to refine middle and high-grade profound level pill. It was basically a treasure trove. This made him drool, and he wished to ransack if immediately, but it was only wishful thinking because there is a few Nirvana realm warriors guarding it. Once he was caught, it would be over for him. Because King's continent had a huge natural barrier, so the 3 realms' great war back then didn't have any impact on them. Thus they were able to keep some rare herbs and martial skills, making their background very abundant, worthy of the first continent in the mortal world. 3 days of rest ended very quickly, as Chun Xiang made it into top 20. He was able to go to the next stage. No one knew anything about the next stage's content, so he and the rest are waiting at the summit for further announcement. Ji Quan didn't come, instead it was Elder Ding who came, even without thinking everyone knows that Ji Quan didn't want to show his presence in the face of other strong warriors so as to avoid apologizing, so hiding was the best choice right now. This is the last stage's elimination round. The 4-person with the best results will move on to the fight in martial arts, and the last man standing will be rewarded. Divine Martial Palace's Elder Ding said. Chun Xiang looked at the other warriors and discovered that there a number of them are Ji Quan disciples. They all have an air of arrogance, but their strength are pretty good, if not they wouldn't be able to reach this stage. This stage's content is more unique, and will have a certain danger. In this stage, you will be sent to a mysterious realm that is detaining evil demons. The realm is called Evil Demon Mysterious Realm. Many years ago, our king's continent warriors captured and detained them. As of now, there is quite a number of them evil demons in the realm. The strongest should be at peak extreme state, and none at Nirvana realm. This is personally verified by us, Divine Martial Palace. Hearing that this stage was this scary, Chun Xiang and others had different complexions. Some were worried, some were excited, and Chun Xiang was very calm. If it is really in a mysterious realm, he wasn't any afraid because he is very confident in this hiding ability. In there has a kind of extreme state evil demons. They all have a demon core within their bodies. This demon core contains very pure white energy, and it is equivalent to our Dantian's true chi ball. It stores huge 1 ties of pure true chi and life force with a lot of uses. Once inside, you will need to find and kill those evil demons. You will be ranked according to the amount of demon core you have obtained, and those demon cores will be yours to use too. Chun Xiang secretly nodded. This was considered good. These demon cores made him want to stir up trouble, because it contains all of Extreme Realm's energy. The best way to use it was to lay down formations or refine weapons, while the life force within the demon core can be extracted to refine pills. When refining pills, you can add a little in and the pill's healing effect will be better. Elder Ding, can we have confront each other when we are inside? Lon Lon asked. This. Yes, you can have conflicts, but I believe everyone is clear that having a confrontation is a waste of time and wields no benefit. But sometimes when martial arts sparring will be necessary to solve a conflict, for example, 2 people finding the same evil demons at the same time, Chun Xiang asked. What if someone died during the confrontation? Blade and knives have no eyes. This is same as the previous preliminary contest. No one will be blamed for dying. If you are scared of death, you can quit now. Elder Ding said. Chun Xiang suddenly felt a number of cold gazes filled with killing intent staring at him. These youngsters was always with Ji Quan. They were all Ji Quan's disciple. All of them were blood warrior, so their strengths were all unfathomable. Furthermore, they are not even a bit scared of Chun Xiang. Even after hearing what Chun Xiang did on his way here, they were all the same. They don't think highly of Chun Xiang. Thus, Chun Xiang determined that those youngsters aren't simple. After going in, he need to be alert against those guys. If you are scared, you can choose to withdraw now. Elder Ding looked at Chun Xiang and rest of the young warriors, waited a while and still no one withdrew. They have already reached this stage. If they were to withdraw now, it will not be worth it. Okay, you can start entering now. The time limit is 10 days. At the last day, in the sky of the mysterious realm will appear an exit. All you need to do is jump higher and you will be able to exit. Elder Ding said. Lu Menger transmitted her voice to Chun Xiang. Little rascal, you better be careful. Those demons' strength aren't weak, and try to avoid having any conflict with disciples of Ji Quan. I know. Chun Xiang replied, seeing Lu Menger care so much about him. He was very elated in his heart. Elder Ding said. First one to go is Lon Lon. We will let you in according to the ranking. One will enter every 2 hours. Hearing this rule, Chen Xiang was cursing in his heart, but he was unable to say anything, because there was another 5 people behind him. Those people will take longer to go in. Chen Xiang was ranked 15th, so he needed to wait more than 20 hours. This was already 1 day worth of time. He was already behind others by 1 day plus. A ball of white light gradually opened. S.P. A.C. power gushes out, following a smell filled with evil spookiness. Now Chen Xiang and others know why they needed to come here, because there was a mysterious realm here, and opening the gate to the mysterious realm was easier here. Divine Martial Palace had kept quiet about this realm so long that even the 4 formation masters didn't know. I'll go first. Lon Lon smiled tenderly, and jumped into the gate. There wasn't even a hint of nervousness. It is hard to believe that such a cute girl like her was not scared of those evil demons. At this time, people gradually left, because there was nothing to watch this stage. It was all happening in the mysterious realm. Lu Menger and Hua Xiangyuan nagged at Chen Xiang over and over again. Before leaving together, only Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming stayed to wait for him to go in. Chen Xiang waited here for a day and a little more, but he was able to keep calm. He was absorbing the memories during this time. Those things will be very helpful to him. This would allow him to have a solid foundation on formations and weapon refining. Chen Xiang, it's your turn. Elder Ding said. Chen Xiang opened his eyes and walked over while smiling. This gate is able to transport all 20 of you to different places, so you don't need to worry about getting ambushed. As soon as you reach there, hopefully you will once again get good results. Elder Ding said to Chen Xiang. He was not like W.A.N. Ji Quan, who hates Chen Xiang to the bone. He was still acceptable of Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang nodded and stepped over the gate. Everything blacked, and he soon arrived at a dim world. It was filled with thick death qi in here, but what draws the attention of others is that the plants here was filled with vitality. He was able to see a lot of tall trees, and some dark-colored strange flowers. All in all, the atmosphere here wasn't as bad as he had imagined. Chapter 4:18. Suppressing Devil Yuan Qi. Chapter 4:18. Suppressing Devil Yuan Qi. After Chen Xiang came here, he discovered that other than the frigid evil aura, there was also quite a lot of pure spirit qi. These spirit qi filled up the sky, but once it sinks down, it will be corroded by the evil aura. Worthy of being a mysterious realm, even after detaining so many beasts, it is still able to produce this much pure spirit qi. Chen Xiang looked at the tress and said, these trees were able to grow very well because of the spirit qi here. The creation of mysterious realm was very complicated, the conditions were very high. If it is a mysterious realm, the spirit qi is usually more thick, and this particular realm was used to detain beasts tens of thousands of years ago. Chen Xiang had to admire the life forms in this demon world. Unexpectedly it is able to survive this long. Although the strength did not increase, the lifespan had far overtook humans. This is not what humans can achieve. There's something coming. Long Shui quickly shouted. Chen Xiang also heard some noise, like a huge group coming in all directions. Su Meiyao urged, don't treat it lightly. These beasts were from tens of thousands of years ago. Even if their strength did not increase, their intelligence will definitely not be bad, otherwise they wouldn't have survived this long. Living here in this place for 10,000 years, those able to live till now were definitely strong, but now there is a group surrounding Chen Xiang. Why did the king's continent back then detain so many things here? How did they do it? Chen Xiang could tell from the movements that there is a lot beasts coming towards him. These beasts all have demon and beast characteristics. Their sense of smell and other senses are much stronger than humans, thus they were able to detect that there is human at this direction. Maybe S.P.A.C. formations were used to transport this bunch of beasts here, and this mysterious realm was definitely emptied by King's continent. This way, they could slowly kill those beasts without moving. Su Meiyao said. At this point, those beasts were like 1,000 frantic horses running wildly, but Chun Xiang wasn't afraid. He have already took out the Azure Dragon's slaughtering blade. This blade was very effective against demons and beasts, and this time he also wanted to test out the prowess of suppressing devil divine art. Sensing that there is a large number of beasts nearby, Chun Xiang felt the Azure Dragon's slaughtering blade tremble, seeming very excited, and Chun Xiang also felt the suppressing devil Yuan Qi fluctuate, making Chun Xiang's blood boil, infecting Chun Xiang, making him want to immediately start slaughtering. It's coming! Chun Xiang only saw a group of beast with human body or human with beast body rust. Plussing out from the forest, knocking down many trees, each showing their sharp claws, emitting different howls, making the scene very scary. Even if it was Chun Xiang, he still felt numb about it. In this dim environment, suddenly appeared a group of horrifying creatures. Everyone would not feel good. Luckily Chun Xiang had already met those beasts before, so at this moment he was pretty calm. Haha, it's human, everyone, release your poison, and poison this weak human to death, we can then slowly enjoy human meat. A sharp voice sounded. Chun Xiang felt his hair standing when he heard the voice. Following the voice, Chun Xiang saw many beasts emitting colorful gases from their mouth. These things were all poisonous, and when it touched a tree, the tree would instantly melt, showing that the toxicity was very strong. After cultivating suppressing devil divine arts, Chun Xiang was immune to all poisons. Even Bai Yu's sister, Bai Ziqian, was not able to poison him, let alone these small troops in the beast world. Chun Xiang moved his palm and operated Tai Chi subduing dragon divine art. A very strong suction force was produced in his palm, sucking all the poisonous gas towards his palm, and then he concentrated the different poisonous gases together. Along with the strong suction's force, the poison formed a vortex, pressed together, and finally formed into a small chi ball. Those beasts blanked. They have lived for tens of thousands of years, so they have high intelligence. They of course know what was happening in front of their own eyes. They also know very clearly that what the highly condensed chi ball in Chun Xiang's hands meant. I'll return this to you. Chun Xiang laughed coldly, only to see the poison ball in Chun Xiang's palm fly out. It shot into the group of beasts and explodes, exploding out a lot of dark mist. Following it is a lot of miserable howling. Those originally clumped up beasts separated. They all know that the poisonous gas was very scary. Those poisonous gas were made by Chun Xiang by merging and condensing to form a very strong poisonous gas. Even these beasts could not easily touch it without any protection. These group of beasts were furiously scolding Chun Xiang, this anomaly, who is unexpectedly not afraid of poison, and was even able to easily mix different poisonous gas together like a game. Chun Xiang smiled slightly. His body erupted a pure and holy light. The chi scatters from his body and turns golden. This was suppressing devil Yuan Qi. Chun Xiang seldom used this. Feeling this type of aura, those beasts suddenly felt scared. They felt that in front of this strength, they were like ants facing against the mighty gods. The suppressing devil Yuan Qi disappeared. Chun Xiang released the aura to test if the beasts were really afraid of it. From the way the beasts were shouting and wailing frantically, he knew that the suppressing devil Yuan Qi was very strong. Chun Xiang rushed into the group of beasts, waved the Azure Dragon's slaughtering blade in his arms. When filling it with true Qi, he also added suppressing devil Yuan Qi. With a wave, Chun Xiang hacked a lion-headed man from the waist. This lion-headed man let out a ghastly wail and died, and there was smoke coming out from the part where he was cut. The beast's body was very corroded by the suppressing devil Yuan Qi. Chun Xiang slashed his blade, exploding out chi waves into the surrounding and hits the body of the beast. He saw the beasts looked like it got hit by a scalding hot molten iron. They were producing smoke and melting. This point, Chun Xiang couldn't help but admire the creator of this suppressing devil divine art. He was unexpectedly able to make the suppressing Yuan Qi so effective against beasts. Chun Xiang shwa waved his blade, his body filled with true Qi, following the suppressing devil Yuan Qi exploding out. making those beasts near him run in all directions. Originally, they thought that Chun Xiang was a weak human, but they had never thought that he was like a devil madly slaughtering them. Furthermore, he can even use a type of energy that made them felt scared. TL note: schwa 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 is the sound of blade cutting through air. Want to flee? Impossible. Chun Xiang jumped into the sky, quickly turning true qi into suppressing devil yuan qi, facing the ground with a palm, only to see a huge white palm made from suppressing devil yuan qi congeal, and ferociously press down, covering the group of beasts. The ground shook, that palm made from suppressing devil yuan qi exploded, qi wave rushed everywhere, similar to a tide sweeping across the surrounding. Instantly, the surrounding escaping beasts were submerged. Along with cries of agony, a very smelly odor arises. Those beasts were corroded by the suppressing devil yuan qi. All of them were corroded beyond recognition. Chapter 419, Wolf Slave. Chapter 419, Wolf Slave. Chun Xiang lightly landed on the floor, and looked towards a direction, since there is an aura weakening in that direction. During the chaos just now, a monster escaped. The strength of the monster was strong. It might the leader of the group of monster just now. Most likely it will have a monster core, and the motive of Chun Xiang coming here wasn't to slaughter these monsters, but was to collect monster cores for a compet. 1 Tian. Chun Xiang immediately chased after it. This was the first strong monster he encountered in this mysterious realm. He won't let it go. Those little monsters number in thousands, but none of them have any monster cores. Su Meiyao and Bai Yu said before that monster cores are very valuable. Each piece can be at least sold for 500,000 crystal stones. In ancient times, it was commonly used to lay formations because it contains very pure energy. Chun Xiang very quickly saw the escaping big monster. As the distance gets smaller, he was able to clearly feel that within the monster is a ball of extremely pure energy. He can confirm that it was a big monster. It actually is a wolfman. Chun Xiang said, although it is a monster, he felt that it was more like a monster man, because most of them transformed from monsters, and they have high intelligence. That's why they are called evil monsters. Long time ago they were indeed called beastmen, but humanity thought that it was insulting to them, so they were renamed to evil monster. Long Shui said. Chun Xiang laughed. It would be better if they were more stupid. This way it wouldn't feel scared and afraid, and I wouldn't need to chase for it bitterly. If it was a dumber monster, it would already fight to the death with Chun Xiang already. Almost there. Chun Xiang smiled, only to see water true qi flow out of his body, and the running monster in front fell down head first. This monster's ankle was wrapped with Chun Xiang's water vine. This werewolf felt a scalding hot wind coming over, immediately win and said, "Don't kill me." Chun Xiang originally wanted to directly take the monster core in this werewolf, but he suddenly had an idea. "Give me a reason why I should keep you, or I will take your monster core." Chun Xiang's voice contained a frightening tone, and he also released the suppressing devil yuan qi to make the werewolf uncomfortable. The werewolf was scared witless, although he is at spirit warrior realm beginning stage, but he was unable to face off against both devil suppressing yuan qi and azure dragon slaughtering blade. I don't know, but I can be your goon. I can guide you to find what you want," the werewolf hurriedly said. Chun Xiang smiled. "I don't trust you." The werewolf's forehead suddenly appeared a spirit pattern. Seeing this spirit pattern, Su Meiyao said, "This is the life contract of this evil monster. If you receive it, you can control his life using this contract." Chun Xiang caught the spirit pattern. The spirit pattern went into this palm and disappeared, but he could feel a marvelous feeling. He found out that with a thought, he can kill this werewolf. After living for 10,000s of years, as expected, you didn't waste it. Chun Xiang laughed. He needed a guide, otherwise he wouldn't know where to get monster cores in this vast mysterious realm, but this werewolf should know. Although Chun Xiang had the suppressing devil yuan qi, but in this mysterious realm wasn't absolutely safe. There may be stronger monsters. It was strength close to Nirvana realm, and this werewolf have lived here for so many years, it surely knows where the influences extend to. Master, if you have anything for this slave, just speak of it. The werewolf stood up, and said formally, although he was half monster half human, Chen Xiang found him pleasing to the eyes, and no sense of loathing at all. Chen Xiang asked, in these 1 or 2 days have you seen any other humans here? The werewolf shook his head, replying, Master, I have not met any, but I have heard other tribes had met some. Chen Xiang nodded his head. In the future there is no need to call me Master, just reply my question, he once again asked. I need huge quant. 1. Tie of monster cores, you just have to lead the way, leave the rest to me. That werewolf stared blankly. No problem, there is a lot of guys here with monster cores, but if too many died at once, it would arouse this land's demon. Oh? What is the strength of the king here? Chen Xiang asked. This werewolf knew quite a lot of things. Only one step more to attract the Nirvana tribulation, only that in this mysterious realm, Nirvana tribulation does not appear here, thus they are unable to break through. Relax, you only need to lead the way, Chen Xiang said. The werewolf's red eyes shows traces of worry, but his life was now in the hands of Chen Xiang. He could only follow instruction, otherwise Chen Xiang could, Master, you better disguise yourself, this way you would be safer. The werewolf said in a low voice. He was worried that it would cause Chen Xiang to be angry. Chen Xiang nodded his head, only to see a tail appear behind him. His legs grew some white fur. From the looks, Chen Xiang had turned into a white tiger, looking very similar to an evil monster. Now Chen Xiang's spiritual strength was enough for him to turn into a beast with a white tiger shape. To turn a small part of his body was not difficult. That werewolf was shocked in his heart. He didn't know how Chen Xiang did it. He even suspected that Chen Xiang was a monster too, because it was too similar. White tiger monster, there is a lot of these kind of monsters. The werewolf said, Master, please follow me. The werewolf ran, Chen Xiang also ran at the same speed, following behind him. He guessed that the werewolf is bringing him to find the first target, most likely it would be the nemesis of this werewolf. Chen Xiang can't be bothered, he was only here for less than 9 days. He needs to get as much monster core as possible in this 9 days. This stage's compet. 1. Tian was very harsh, only 4 of 20 people could advance. This made Chen Xiang feel quite some pressure. Wolf slave, how many demons with demon core are here? Chen Xiang asked. There is about 50 around here, most of them are stronger than me, some are even stronger, the one called king is not nearby, but he might come, the werewolf said. Chen Xiang was currently thinking of an all-round plan. There is quite a lot of demons here. If there is a Ma's Saker, it might agitate the so-called kings, and would not be a loss. Suddenly, Chen Xiang had a flash of insight. He had always wanted to test out the formation in his mind. If used to make a trap, it would be pretty good. He took out 100 beast pill, and gives it to the werewolf. Do you eat this stuff? The werewolf came to a conclusion, gave it a smell, and was instantly happy. The werewolf immediately gulped down on it. Seeing that the demons like this thing, Chen Xiang was secretly happy. He had a lot of 100 beast pills, enough to use as bait to lure those big evil demons with demon core. Chapter 420. Skillfully Taking Demon Cores. Chapter 420. Skillfully Taking Demon Cores. Master, could this be the pill of the mortal world? According to my knowledge, in this mysterious realm, only a certain fruit have the effects of this pill, the werewolf said with feeling. Chen Xiang's eyes S.H.I. plus Ned. He previously thought that there was no heaven and earth treasures here. What fruit? Where is it located? The werewolf stopped. Master, do you want to get the demon core first or do find the tree? Chen Xiang thought for a while, then asked, Are you the only one who knows about the location of the tree? Is there any strong guys there? That's not the case, only that the tree is located at dangerous place. That place is filled with strange energy. We can't even get close to it. Those who claim to be kings tried their hardest and was only able to pluck one out, but the effect wasn't as great, so they stopped picking it. I think Master can try to pick it. Chen Xiang nodded his head. If that is the case, let's get a demon core first. I'm afraid that it would get taken by others. The werewolf continued to lead Chen Xiang. He knew that Chen Xiang was rust. Plussing for time, so the speed was very fast. Not long later, Long Shui felt that there is demons in front. It's in front, their total number to about 2,000, they are much influential than me. The werewolf said, while sighing lightly. His influence was not small, but it was ruined by Chen Xiang instantly. Thinking of Chen Xiang's horrifying strength, he had lingering fear. He personally saw many of his subordinates experience that type of extremely uncomfortable strength. TL note: this sentences looks weird, lol. Chen Xiang said in a low voice, "You wait here for me, I'll take a look." The werewolf hid behind a tree, while Chen Xiang drilled into the GRA's. At the same time followed Long Shui's instruction to turn into a lion-headed person, mixing into the tribe. Chen Xiang was not discovered, only that some demons found his strange, but they were not suspicious, because there was often cases of rebels from other tribes coming, thus meeting a strange demon did not make them feel strange. There was a lot of thatched-roofed huts. Chen Xiang very quickly found the tribe leader. It was in a bigger wooden house. The leaders here were similar in strength with the werewolf, having spirit warrior realm beginning stage strength. There is two. Be careful, there is one hiding under the ground. Just now he let out a breath and was found out by me. It should be the tribe's second in command. Long Shui reminded Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang circled to the window area of the wooden house. Most of the demons in this tribe was resting, only a few was patrolling. Even so, he would not alert other demons to avoid getting surrounded. He did not want to attract the attention of those so-called kings. Feeling the big demon's position in the wooden house, Chen Xiang took out the demanding life devil bow, aimed at the big demons in the wooden house, instilled his thick true qi, preparing for a silent assassination. The demanding life bow was an assassination weapon. Along with the increase in Chen Xiang's strength, the arrow shot out will be more powerful. To kill a beginning stage spirit martial realm beast was not a difficult thing. According to his spiritual strengths probing, that demon was lying on a stone bed resting. Chen Xiang aimed at the big demon's head, pulled the trigger on the demanding life devil bow, shooting out a hidden arrow. The hidden arrow silently went through the wooden floor, flying straight towards to the demon's head. After Chen Xiang felt the demon's aura weakening, immediately came to the window area, and jumped in. This demon is a leopard headman. His forehead was half blown off when the hidden arrow was shot out, and it is already dead. Chen Xiang activated his suppressing devil divine art, released the suppressing devil yuan qi. His hands like eagle claw, along with the suppressing devil yuan qi, fiercely stabbed towards the demon's chest, and effortlessly pierced through the solid muscle, taking out a pure white heart-like item. This is a demon core? What a pure energy! I didn't think that these guys' energy was this pure. Chen Xiang said shockingly. Of course, only that when they used this pure energy, it would turn extremely evil when it said through their innate ability. Su Meiyao said. Chen Xiang kept the demon core, used the suppressing devil yuan qi to corrode the body, and silently left the wooden house. Walking into another direction, Long Shui told him that, towards there was also another demon with demon core. That guy is underground, most probably sleeping, Long Shui said in a low voice. Chen Xiang saw that there was no one around, and the patrolling demons didn't dare to pass through here. Chen Xiang quietly neared the place, hiding near a huge log, not letting any patrols see him. Looks like demons with demon core all have their own influence. If he wants to kill them, it is necessary to go past their subordinates first. Chen Xiang said in his heart. He had many ways to assassinate. If it was other people, it might be hard to achieve. In another word, those king's continent disciples can easily attract over the so-called kings. Holding on to a demanding life devil bow, he quickly instilled thick and strong true qi. At this point, Chen Xiang felt that the demanding life devil bow had reached a bottleneck, because when he instilled too much strong true qi, the demanding life devil bow would shake. If he were to continue pumping true qi, the demanding life devil bow might break. A black key shot out, shooting into the ground, making a small hole. Chen Xiang's spiritual sense was strong, so he was able to feel that he had shot a life-threatening shot directly at the head of the demon underground. TL note: LMAO black key, rip it. What author was writing there? The Ra just said he shoot out a black key. After hitting, Chen Xiang quickly walked over, reached out his hand to grab. His hands went through the ground, grabbing the demon core. Afterwards, he once again pumped out large quant. 1. Tai of suppressing devil yuan qi, corroding the body of the beast. The werewolf, though that he would need to wait very long, maybe he might even need to help Chen Xiang to fight off the big tribes. Just when he was dreaming, Chen Xiang suddenly appeared and gave him a pat on his shoulder, smiled. "I've got it, now bring me to the tree." The werewolf was shocked. "So quick?" Chen Xiang brought out 2 demon cores, laughed. "Of course I'm quick, do you want to personally check it?" The werewolf's body fiercely shook, thinking of how his own demon core would be taken out. He felt extremely scared. He didn't understand how Chen Xiang was able to silently do it. Furthermore, his speed was so quick. In just a short 1 hour, Chen Xiang had got 2 demon core. His gain was not considered small. If not for the werewolf leading the way, maybe he had to find for it everywhere, and he would even have to fight large amounts of demons. Finally he would attract the kings, and that would be a very annoying thing. Chen Xiang followed the werewolf to a gloomy swamp ground. That place was filled with poisonous miasma. That werewolf doesn't seem to be afraid of poison. Chen Xiang was absolutely not afraid of poison at all. It is in front the SHI+Ning place. No one knows where the energy came from, but we do not dare to get near. The werewolf pointed in front and said, "Could it be a pure elemental fruit?" Su Meiyao said in alarm. Chen Xiang can sense that the ball of light in front of him is releasing an extremely pure aura, and it has a faint sweet smell which one can't help but inhale several breaths. Chen Xiang can sense that the ball of light in front of him is releasing an extremely pure aura, and it has a faint sweet smell which one can't help but inhale several breaths. Is this the main ingredient of refining the pure elemental golden pill, the pure elemental fruit? Chen Xiang was slightly surprised, and immediately after extremely delighted. This ingredient is extremely rare even 10,000 years ago, and from the 4 formation masters. He learned that those which divine Martial Palace's medicine garden posses were already used up. When Chen Xiang was about to go in, Long Shui suddenly said, "Wait, this type of energy isn't something the fruit can release. Indeed, this type of energy is something that even evil demons close to Nirvana realm aren't able to bear, and it's surely not simple," Bai Yu said. Chen Xiang just trod a step and stopped in. He's unable to see the pure elemental fruit tree, because it's covered by a golden light, and inside this golden light, there is an energy that Chen Xiang familiar about. Suppressing devil yuan qi. Why there is suppressing devil yuan qi here? Chen Xiang stupefied said, and he now understands why evil demons are unable to approach it. It's indeed suppressing devil yuan qi, but it's different from this type of suppressing devil yuan qi is stronger, but it can only SHI plus an E, and it seems like they aren't others aura here. Long Shui said. Since it's suppressing devil yuan q, Chen Xiang won't fear it. He let the werewolf wait for him, and strode in. After entering the region covered by the golden light, he saw a 3-meter-high tree, which has white leaves all over it, and about 50 golden pure elemental fruit. The pure elemental golden pill has 2 main ingredients, which are the pure elemental tree leaves and fruits, and now Chen Xiang already gathered all the ingredients needed. But he didn't immediately pluck it, and started looking for the object releasing the golden light, because obviously, it didn't come from the pure elemental fruit tree. and soon he found out that the light is coming from the water. Chen Xiang approached it, and saw a bronze mirror with a handle lying inside a puddle. After he picked this mirror, he suddenly felt a burst of suppressing devil yuan qi pouring in his body, which let his body emit bursts of golden light, which forced the werewolf to hide behind a boulder and avoid being touched by this light. After Chen Xiang fused with the suppressing devil yuan qi inside the mirror, he discovered that his suppressing devil golden body became stronger, and his suppressing devil yuan qi also changed and became stronger. Chen Xiang hastily dipped a drop of his blood in the mirror and became its master. The mirror is called suppressing devil mirror. People cultivating suppressing devil divine art can use to release extremely ferocious bursts of suppressing devil yuan qi to deal with demons. Chen Xiang is overjoyed after obtaining this mirror. It had to be known that even without an owner this mirror can release a suppressing devil yuan qi that even king degree demon can't bear, let alone now that it has an owner. And he's extremely confused why such mirror will appear here. If he has an opportunity, he will use it to deal with king degree demon and test its might. After the golden light disappeared, the werewolf stealthily looked at the tree. Although he lived a long time here, but it's his first time seeing a pure elemental tree, and he's even more afraid of Chen Xiang's strength now, because he can easily deal with this place which even king degree demon are helpless against. Chen Xiang started picking the pure elemental fruits, and after he picked 30 of them, Long Shui hastily said, "There is someone approaching, a strong spirit martial realm martial artist. He must be Ji Quan disciple." The werewolf also sensed him and strangely shouted, "Master, there is someone fierce approaching." By now even Chen Xiang sensed his aura. He already saw Ji Quan disciples and he's familiar with their aura. "Quickly come to my side," Chen Xiang hastily shouted, and after hearing him, the werewolf immediately leaped to his side. This werewolf can guess the reason why human come to this mysterious realm is for gathering demon's heart, which why he's in danger, because he believes that those humans will all be extremely strong like Chen Xiang, and if he didn't become Chen Xiang's slave, then even if Chen Xiang didn't take his heart, he will be killed by other humans. Just after the werewolf comes to Chen Xiang, a handsome man wearing blue cloth and holding a precious sword leisurely come over. His unruly eyes took a look to Chen Xiang, then the werewolf beside him, which let him frown, then lastly looked at the pure elemental tree behind Chen Xiang. "Chen Xiang, you are siding with evil demons. If this spread out, what would people think of you?" Snort. When the man was talking, his eyes were filled with greed and his tone was extremely arrogant. Chen Xiang coldly smiled and said, "Wan Xian, open your eyes and take a careful look. He's my slave, and for me to be able to enslave an evil demon possessing a demonic heart is an extremely glorious matter. This arrogant man is called Wan Xian, and he's one of Ji Quan disciples." Wan Xian didn't care about what Chen Xiang said. After seeing an evil demon possessing a demon heart and a priceless tree, how can he not be tempted, especially those beautiful golden fruits that tempt him to take a bite of them? I remember that Elder Ding said that if I encounter such situation, I must use the most ancient way to resolve it, Wan Xian sinisterly said. The most ancient way is battling, and the one who wins will take everything. Chen Xiang is cursing him in his mind, and he flipped his hand and strongly gripped the pure elemental tree behind him, and pulled the entire tree along with its roots out and rapidly stored it in his ring, and handed dealing with it to Su Mei Yao and Bai Yuyu. Such crude plucking may make the tree dies, but Chen Xiang didn't care because he is golden dragon saliva and he can use the pure elemental fruit seeds to plant it, and as long as he has enough time, he can have as many trees as he wants. "Chen Xiang, you!" Wan Xian was extremely angered, and fiercely stared at the werewolf, and sent a palm containing golden lightning true qi toward it, which let several shoo 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 sounds. Seeing the werewolf is about to be killed, Chen Xiang snorted, and an invisible true qi curled around his body and started spinning around it and attracted the palm condensed by golden lightning true qi toward him. When it hit him, Chen Xiang used the Tai Chi subduing dragon divine art to dissolve the palm strength and was safe and sound. Chen Xiang, aren't you afraid that I will kill you? There won't be anyone knowing if I kill you here. Wan Xian was already angered and had the thought of killing him, but he knows that Chen Xiang isn't that simple, and he's worried that after killing him, he will be heavily injured. Chen Xiang coldly said, honestly speaking, since you arrived here, in my eyes, you are already a dead man. You are W.A.N. Ji Quan disciple, and since long ago I was longing to kill one or two of his disciples. Wan Xian complexion changed, and loudly said, if that's the case, then I will not be polite, although you once killed bloodline martial artists from our king continent, but bloodline martial artists have various grades, and those peoples which you killed are only trash in my eyes, and a disgrace of bloodline martial artists. Wan Xian is the fourth person who entered in, and he entered earlier than Chen Xiang by a day, and his strength isn't weak, so Chen Xiang thought he should have got many demonic hearths, and by killing him, he can get them and save time. Wan Xian is the fourth person who entered in, and he entered earlier than Chen Xiang by a day, and his strength isn't weak, so Chen Xiang thought he should have got many demonic hearths, and by killing him, he can get them and save time. And Wan Xian is jealous of Chen Xiang because he managed to enslave an evil demon. He already tried this, but all the evil demon he met aren't willing to submit, so he can only kill them. If he possessed a strong evil demon like Chen Xiang, then his journey in the mysterious realm would become easier. Chen Xiang, honestly speaking, it's impossible for you to enter the finals. Our master has only 4 disciples, and he's willing to take out good fortune fruit only to let us compete for it, and except us, there wouldn't be anyone able to enter the finals. Wan Xian proudly smiled and said, he waved his sword, and sword light containing a powerful qi shooted toward Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang was startled and hastily cast aside his head, but the powerful qi still streaked across his face and left a bloody scratch on it and continued in and cut out a portion of his hair. After witnessing Wan Xian's strength, Chen Xiang's complexion became grave. This Wan Xian is stronger than the 2 bloodline martial artists he met before, and although he's the youngest of W.A.N. Ji Quan 4 disciples, but all of his disciples have a profound cultivation and roughly matched strength, otherwise he wouldn't let them compete against each other. And the one Tian will also decide which one of the 4 disciples will obtain W.A.N. Ji Quan inheritance. What you meant is that W.A.N. Ji Quan has given you enough demonic hearts before entering in? Chen Xiang smiled. Wan Xian harshly laughed, and waved his sword and chopped a strike containing a terrifying amount of qi, the true qi in his body after Pa's sing through his hand and bursting out from his precious sword become more stronger, and Chen Xiang sensed a tremendous danger from it. That's right, we 4 will definitely enter the finals, and it's impossible for other people to obstruct us from competing for the number 1 position. Wan Xian's smile became more complacent after seeing Chen Xiang moving left and right to dodge his attacks like an old mouse. Chen Xiang, you should use your Dragon Force, although my master often said that Dragon Force can defeat bloodline martial artists, but I don't believe him. Wan Xian frowned and grasped his sword, which started glowing brightly with both hands, and directly chopped toward Chen Xiang, and countless sword lights suddenly appeared, and like a net enveloped Chen Xiang. Being surrounded by countless sword light net cut Chen Xiang escape route, Wan Xian burst into loud laughter because he thought that dealing with Chen Xiang is too easy under the sword light net. Chen Xiang suddenly turned into mist. He used water mirror technique. If he was this weak to be such easily defeated, he would long ago have been eliminated. Wan Xian was startled, and he abruptly turned around and swiftly hacked, and in an instant, sword chi shot all around, and the valiant aura which bloodline martial artists' posses burst with this strike BRIMMING with destruction aura which shook the surrounding SPAC and split the ground apart. Dang! Chen Xiang blocked that terrifying strike capable of splitting mountain open, and he even easily did it, and mildly cancelled his remaining strength. You don't deserve that I use dragon force. And it's a disgrace to use such sacred strength to deal with you, Chen Xiang indifferently said, and struck with his palm toward Wan Shuang, not letting him enough time to use his sword, and he can only face it with his palm. And although Ji Xian struck with his palm without any preparation, but his strike is extremely powerful, and it's filled with an invisible energy which formed a strong qi wave that let Chen Xiang felt a scalding energy infiltrating his body before even touching him, and this domineering and tyrannical energy tried to explode out after entering his meridians, but was quickly suppressed by him. Ha ha, did you experience my strength? Wan Xian loudly laughed before clenching his teeth and increasing the strength of his palm. There weren't any energy waves when their palm collided, like if they were little kids sticking their palm together, which is out of Wan Shuang expectation, because he thought that Chen Xiang will be forced to draw back and lost at least one of his arm, and the surrounding trees should also be wrecked by his erupting qi. He, we will see who will laugh at last. After withdrawing his palm, swung it lightly to dissolve Wan Xian remaining strength. Chen Xiang retreated several steps, and Wan Xian hastily tried wielding his sword to strike, but when lifted his sword he found that something was amiss. Wan Xian's complexion suddenly changed, and terrified screamed out, "What did you make to my hand? Why it's like this? My arm bone? Where is it?" Transforming bone devil palm. When Chen Xiang contacted his palm, he used his strength to display this dissolving bone soft strike. He started preparing for this strike when he was dodging Wan Xian's sword qi, and made an opportunity to contact his palm, and he succeeds and dissolved Wan Xian's whole arm bones. And although Chen Xiang don't use it often in fighting, but he's always practicing it, and after he entered the extreme realm, this transforming bone devil palm becomes more fierce, and he's already able to quietly dissolve his opponent's bones, without them feeling any pain. Chen Xiang doesn't dare to use this devil skill in front of peoples, because such martial skill is to some extent evil and malicious, and it can easily be used by others as a reason to make trouble for him. Wan Xian was terror-stricken, although he underwent ruthless training, but it's his first time encountering such a situation, and he's usually in an aloof position in addition to his young age, and isn't steady and composed like Chen Xiang. It had to be known that Chen Xiang is constantly struggling in Death Edge, and experienced numerous grinding, which let him mature earlier and becomes calm and composed. Chen Xiang, I will hack you to pieces. Wan Xian, as if he gone crazy, wielded his sword and rushed toward Chen Xiang, but his arm doesn't have any bones, and he's unable to control it, but his anger and dread made him lose all rationality. If Chen Xiang encountered such a thing, he will try to survive, and not rush in and goes all out. Seeing that Wan Xian is overcome by anger, Chen Xiang know that he achieved what he wants. Looking at Wan Xian ing in and hacking at him, he calmly waved his blade and blocked his attack, and used the Tai Chi subduing dragon divine art profound controlling strength to give rise to an enormous attraction and firmly bonded Wan Shuang's sword to his blade. And in such a moment, Chen Xiang gazed at Wan Xian's chest, and his eyes flickered with red light, and two red light beams suddenly shot out from his eyes and pierced Wan Xian's body. Penetrating heart devil eye. This is also one of Bai Yu proud devil skill. Chen Xiang continuously used it, and not only penetrated his heart, but also used this terrifying devilish light beam to penetrate his dantian and others' vital spot of his body. Ah, Chen Xiang, your bastard, I curse you to die a dog death. Wan Xian's body continually encountered fatal attacks, and his dantian suffered severe damages, and he lost all his strength and kneeled down, experiencing sharp pain all over his body. Wan Xian's vitality is extremely tenacious, and in such a state he unexpectedly still didn't die. Chen Xiang seized his sword and storage ring and laughed while shaking his head. Your strength isn't bad. If I want to uprightly defeat you, it will be quite wearisome, but now? Ha ha! Since Chen Xiang said the points compet, that I. Tian. Weng Quan forced his disciples to study Chen Xiang various tie-ins, and checks our various materials about him, therefore they thought they know everything about him, and Chen Xiang doesn't know anything about them, which will let them occupy a great advantage facing him. Since Chen Xiang Pas, said the points compet. 1 Tian. Wang Quan forced his disciples to study Chen Xiang various compet. 1 Tians and checks our various materials about him, therefore they thought they know everything about him, and Chen Xiang doesn't know anything about them, which will let them occupy a great advantage facing him. Chen Xiang Partic. 1p, aided in many public compet. 1. Tians and even kids know what skill he often uses, but he rarely uses devil skill in such public compet. 1 Tian. Especially skills like penetrating heart devil eye and transforming bone devil palm. And even ice spirit devil aura only used it once stealthily, and it wasn't recognized by those tyke OONS who witnessed it. Only when he's using his devil skills will he truly be considered as using his true strength. His devil skill are difficult to guard against, and he's always concealing them, otherwise he won't be able to such effortlessly defeat Wan Xian, and it's by Yu who made him conceal them. Even Huang Jintian doesn't know that Chen Xiang has such devil skills, so it's obvious that Wan Xian doesn't know, and in this evil demon mysterious realm, he can unscrupulously use them because there isn't anyone around. Felt relieved, there won't be anyone knowing that you were killed by me, ha ha. Chen Xiang lightly laughed and lifted his blade and chopped Wan Xian head. Wang Quan youngest disciple, an outstanding bloodline martial artist, was like this killed by Chen Xiang. Until Wan Shuang was before death door, did he understand why Chen Xiang didn't use Dragon Force to deal with him. It's because he doesn't need to use it, and he also understood that from the beginning Chen Xiang was scheming against him, and that he was played by him. TSK. He truly has many demonic hearts. He unexpectedly has 51 of them. Chen Xiang is very surprised. This evil demon mysterious realm is controlled by the divine martial palace, and as long as a nirvana realm warrior enters in, he can get as many demonic hearts as he wants. He has these many? It seems like Wang Quan established such a test to guarantee that his 4 disciples enter the finals, but he won't expect his actions will lead to the death of one of his disciples, Long Shui said with a smile. Chen Xiang handed these demonic hearts to Su Meiyao and Bai Yu, and made them look for ways to let these demonic hearts seem different. If Wang Quan recognize these demonic hearts, then he will have trouble, because the matter of him killing Wan Xian mustn't be discovered. He naturally isn't worried that the werewolf will sell him out, because he has dozen way to guarantee he will not reveal out this matter. Wolf slave, come over, Chen Xiang happily said with a smile, and threw 100 beasts Dan toward him. The wold salve immediately swallowed it. After receiving it, Chen Xiang touched his head and started searching his memory. Bear it, Chen Xiang shouted. The wolf slave felt a sharp pain in his head before fainted. Chen Xiang used Grasping Soul Devil Curse to erase the werewolf memory about what happened earlier, which is one of Grasping Soul Devil Curse convenient use. If you used Grasping Soul Devil Curse to search Wan Shuang memory, you might have learned many unexpected matters. Bai Yu said. Chen Xiang said with a smile, it doesn't matter, I still have many opportunities. Didn't he have other 3 fellow disciples? They should pray to not met me in such place. Chen Xiang doesn't have anything to be apprehensive about, and as long as he met one of Wan Quan disciples, he will try to kill them. After all, in this place casualties are unavoidable, and as long as body knows it's him, even if Wang Quan suspected him, he wouldn't dare to act against him. The wolf slave quickly wakes up. He already forgot about what happened earlier. His last memory is when Chen Xiang was picking fruits, and Wan Xian corpse was already disposed of by Chen Xiang. Wolf slave, does other evil demons also like the medicinal pills which I gave you? Chen Xiang asked. Yes, those pill are useful to us, and I obtained energy from earing them, and although this realm also have spirit chi, but it's difficult for us to absorb it, the spirit Q is floating in the sky, and in case it comes down it will become extremely muddy, and it's extremely difficult to obtain a bit of pure spirit Q from it, and master medicinal pills can let me obtain a great quant. 1. Tai of pure energy. The wolf slave said. Chen Xiang rubbed his nose and asked, if I put some pill here, will other evil demons be able to smell it? I want to use it to lure evil demon possessing demonic heart, and avoid the trouble of looking for them myself. He currently had 53 demonic heart, and he's clear about how difficult it's to get so many demonic hearts, so he's very confident about entering the final. They will definitely smell it. When young evil demon discovers good stuff, they will generally inform their commander to come to take it, making the commander personally take it, which is safer, and the commander will also reward those young evil demons. If those young evil demons keep it for themselves after discovering it, the consequences will be grave if it was known by the commander. Chen Xiang nodded. I want to find a place where many tribes frequently pass on, so that my trap can attract many commanders. Blackwood Canyon, it's the path toward the Spirit River, and many young evil demons and commanders will frequently pass through it to go to the Spirit River. What kind of place is the Spirit River? Chen Xiang asked. It's a very dangerous river, but this river can release a lot of spirit chi. If one were to fall in the river, then he's doomed. Even King Degree evil demon will die if they fall in it. The wolf slave frightened continued in and said, I once seen a King Degree evil demon fall in it, and from that day on I never saw him again. Chen Xiang made the wolf slave lead him, and along the way, Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu already found a way to change those 51 demonic hearts and make their appearance different from before, so that Ji Quan won't recognize them when inspecting them. These demonic hearts were given by Ji Quan to his disciples, and Chen Xiang was worried that he will recognize them, therefore he's extremely careful in dealing with them. Wan Xian only got 1 demonic heart after 2 days of entering in, and although Ji Quan only gives him 50, but it's enough for him to enter the finals. Su Meiyao said. Those demonic hearts are extremely useful. Chen Xiang wants to get more of them, and if possible, he does not want to hand over those which he robbed from Wan Xian, because the consequences would be severe if he was discovered. Blackwood Canyon is a big canyon, full of big black trees. This mysterious realm was dim, and after entering this forest, it becomes more pitch black, but fortunately, there are some glowing plants and glowing insects flying all over. Chen Xiang want to arrange a grand formation in the Blackwood Canyon, a formation that stretches across the canyon middle, and he believes that even King Degree evil demons won't be unable to escape of such giant trap. If it was before, he wouldn't dare to do such a thing, but now he obtained the evil demon's nemesis, the suppressing devil mirror, and as long as he uses it, and releases the ferocious suppressing devil Yuan Qi in it, then he will be invincible inside the formation. Setting the formation need top-grade crystals, and he obtained many of them in Lotus Island, and it's enough for him to let it operate it for dozen days. Chen Xiang was feeling no small pressure as he wanted to arrange a large array on his own. He remembered that some array grandmasters had assistants helping them in arranging the array. Last time, Shui Xianxian and Leng Yuland cooperated together to arrange the array. Chen Xiang was feeling no small pressure as he wanted to arrange a large array on his own. He remembered that some array grandmasters had assistants helping them in arranging the array. Last time, Shui Xianxian and Leng Yuland cooperated together to arrange the array. Smelly Dragon, help me out a bit. Chen Xiang only had Long Shui to help. Aside from the fact that she was quite powerful, she had sufficiently powerful divine sense, making her the best assistant. Whereas, as inept as Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu were in arrays, they were quite intelligent. It was just that they were weak. Chen Xiang was worried for their safety. As reluctant as Long Shui was, she still came out honestly under Chen Xiang's coercion and persuasion. The wolf slave's eyes went wide with the sudden appearance of a 12-year-old little girl. Long Shui scoffed tenderly at him as she said, "What are you looking at? Quickly do what I say." The wolf slave felt weird noticing that this cute little girl wasn't afraid of him. Chen Xiang nodded at him, indicating him to follow Long Shui's orders. As such, the wolf slave started digging a designated place, whereat drawn were few symbols by Chen Xiang. All in all, a total of 4 deep pits had to be dug. Chen Xiang wanted to arrange an illusion array here from the memories of 4 array grandmasters that could trap someone to death. The victim of the trap would encounter a maze once they entered the array, making it extremely difficult for them to get out. Whereas Chen Xiang could see everything clearly, and control the offensive array inside the illusion array to kill the victim. Of course, he could also attack the victim from the outside. This array was huge. It was like a river across the dark forest canyon. Fortunately, the process of laying out the array wasn't that complicated. The first thing that Chen Xiang had to do was engrave spirit patterns on the ground, which for him was quite easy. Chen Xiang dug many small crisscrossing tunnels under the ground by releasing a fair number of flame BALs and controlling them thereafter. These small tunnels were just large enough for a mouse to traverse. In fact, these esoteric spirit patterns were precisely what constant I-toot the array. However, neither Chen Xiang understood these spirit patterns nor did he knew how he should combine them. Nevertheless, he knew that these spirit patterns were necessary of the array. So, he just copied them. An entire day had said after he was finished carving the spirit patterns under the ground at the center of the dark forest canyon. Meanwhile, Long Shui had already dug 4 pits in accordance with the places marked by him. As Long Shui and the werewolf had worked together, they were faster than Chen Xiang. Suddenly, glaring rays of light flashed in the pitch-black forest. Whereupon, Chen Xiang took out a fair number of relatively bigger top-grade crystal stones and threw them to Long Shui before he spoke. Draw the spirit qi out of these top-grade crystal stones and condense it into liquid form, and then pour it inside those pits. It was not that hard for Long Shui, on the contrary, it was boring. She let out a snort as she caught the spirit stones and made herself busy. Chen Xiang was extra careful as this was his very first array and he didn't know whether it would work or not. He too took out a top-grade crystal stone quickly and extracted the pure spirit qi out. And then, he let the spirit qi in liquid form pass through those pits and into the spirit pattern tunnels that he had dug under the ground after having compressed a large amount of spirit qi into liquid form. Those spirit patterns were no different than rat burrows, covering the entire ground in a crisscross network from underneath. Once these spirit patterns were filled with energy, the array would be halfway done. This step was relatively faster. It was just that the consumption of the top-grade crystal stones was too much. After all the spirit patterns had been filled with a lot of spirit qi, Chen Xiang buried all the pits completely except for one, wherein he placed a relatively larger top-grade crystal stone as it was the base of the array. Chen Xiang and the wolf slave left far away from here after having buried the final pit as well. As a matter of fact, the array was sort of one last step, which was activating this large array, for which, a major part of one's spirit had to be fused with the spirit qi inside those spirit patterns under the ground. In line with those memories of the 4 array grandmasters, Chen Xiang released his divine sense and poured all of it into the array base at center, letting his divine sense flow into all the spirit patterns, and thereby controlling the spirit qi inside and compressing it together, and even integrating it as well. This process was a lot harder than Chen Xiang had imagined, because half of his divine sense had been consumed just at the beginning. However, his consumption of spirit qi slowly decreased a lot in the end, and the array was gradually under his control. "Finally," said Chen Xiang, gazing at the front as he stood atop a tree. As the large array was formed, The illusion array covered a large part of the dark forest canyon from the center. Meanwhile, Chen Xiang began to use his imagination to create a dreamland. An illusion array was a very special kind of array. Anyone's mind would be affected once they entered the array's area of effect. Although everything encountered inside the array was created out of Chen Xiang's imagination, it would appear extremely real in the mind of the victims, and therefore, the divine sense requirement for laying out an illusion array was very high. Chen Xiang infused the scenes he had imagined into the array base. Now, as long as anyone entered the illusion array, they would encounter some non-existent things inside. And these things were all created from Chen Xiang's imaginations. The only reason why the victims would believe everything inside to be true was that their mind had encountered an attack, and as such, Array Master's consciousness would appear in their minds. The dreamland that Chen Xiang had imagined had a beautiful blue sky, and a garden filled with all kinds of precious and rare herbs. It was extremely beautiful and had incredibly rich spirit qi. So long as anyone entered the array alone, he or she would be completely enthralled. This was what the strong part of the illusion arrays. Only some martial artists with very powerful divine sense could tell the difference between true and false. Obviously, Chen Xiang would not be affected by the array as it was arranged by himself. Chen Xiang went inside the array, carrying a large bag of 100 beasts' dawn, which he placed at one place, so as to disseminate the fragrance of those pills and lure those evil demons here. In the past, the little white tiger was also lured by the 100 beasts' dan. Any beast who liked the 100 beasts' dan would have a hard time resisting this kind of temptation, let alone those evil demons who desired to have a pure energy. In order to not let those evil demons sense him, Chen Xiang hollowed out the trunk of a large tree and arranged A/H/I plus elding array so as to prevent the leaking of his and the wolf slave's ori. And then, monitored the illusion array through a small hole. At the first place, Chen Xiang's divine sense was extremely strong, which became even stronger with the help of the energy stored in those spirit patterns. As such, even the so-called evil demons would find it hard to get out this illusion array. They would feel everything they saw extremely real once they were inside. Not long after, Chen Xiang perceived a group of evil demons approaching. The wolf slave said, taking a deep breath, "It's the smell of that stupid bear." "Does this guy have demon heart?" inquired Chen Xiang. "Yes, he is stronger than me as well. If I am right, he should be going to the spirit river along with his tribe to cultivate," replied the wolf slave. Chen Xiang was a bit nervous as it was the first time he had arranged an array. However, no matter what his worries were, they would not be helpful. All he could do was wait patiently, wait for the prey to fall into the trap. Chen Xiang noticed a group of evil demons afar, approaching the illusion array vigilantly. Soon, they were about to enter the illusion array. Chen Xiang noticed a group of evil demons afar, approaching the illusion array vigilantly. Soon, they were about to enter the illusion array. Chen Xiang clutched the suppressing devil brilliant mirror in his hand tightly in anxiety. Once those evil demons were inside the illusion array, it was time for him to attack them with the brilliant mirror. A wonderful feeling appeared in Chen Xiang's consciousness after that greater evil demon with a bare body and human head walked into the illusion array. At this instance, he was connected with the illusion array, allowing him to sense everything inside the illusion array. Suddenly, an outburst of cheers resounded far away. Chen Xiang now knew that his illusion array arrangement was successful as those evil demons were enthralled by the beautiful and fertile illusion. At this moment, they were madly running about the forest, cheering. Looking from afar, they seemed mad and possessed. This is just the most basic illusion array. A top-level illusion array can even open up a SPAC that could trap anyone who enters this SPAC until their death, stated Su Meiyao. Chen Xiang ordered the wolf slave to obediently wait for him here before he silently entered the illusion array, quietly approached those evil demons who had been fooled by the illusion, wielding the suppressing devil brilliant mirror. That bearman wasn't stupid at all, he wasn't cheering like others, even though he too could see the beautiful scenery, the bountiful spirit trees and spirit fruits in here. Everything here felt so real even after touching them. The fruits were also extremely delicious, so delicious that those lower evil demons had picked a lot of fruits and burst into laughter as they ate. However, it was all illusion. They could feel as such because their mind was cheating them, their five senses were all affected by their mind. That was the only reason that they had been deceived so successfully. Chen Xiang transformed into an evil demon. Presently, not only could he transform into an evil demon with the 72 transformations technique, he could also transform into large-sized beasts as well as other people. However, he had not tried it yet. A group of evil demons was laughing heartily in the dark forest. They looked extremely strange as they seemed to be eating some transparent things, which made Chen Xiang secretly chuckle. Chen Xiang took out the suppressing devil brilliant mirror as he sneaked behind the bearman. Afterward, he activated the brilliant mirror aiming at the head of the bearman. The bearman fiercely turned his head, but just at this time, a golden beam of light shot out from the suppressing devil brilliant mirror. Whereupon, the bearman's head disappeared into thin air. It was like a jet of hot flames made a pillar of wax instantly disappear. Chen Xiang burst into laughter as he wrapped his hand in suppressing devil yuan qi before thrusting it into the bearman's chest and taking the demon heart out. Afterward, he left the illusion array in a flash. After he left, he changed the illusion array into a maze and let those lower evil demons trapped inside. Very smoothly, those lower evil demons were led into the depths of the illusion array by the maze. And since the maze walls were constructed from the power released by the array, it was very difficult to break through them. The array was but arranged using many top-grade crystal stones. It was extremely strong. Having finished all this, Chen Xiang returned to the wolf slave and continued to wait for the next batch of evil demons to arrive. 3 days passed, said in a flash. Over these days, Chen Xiang had acquired 5 demon hearts through this beautiful trap. And now, too many evil demons were also trapped inside the illusion array. It would be easily noticed if this went on. At this time, Bai Yuyu and Su Meiyao thought of a good way to kill these lower evil demons, and that was to refine demon hearts by merging the pure energy inside their body through the brilliant flame dragon furnace. Accordingly, Chen Xiang obtained a lot of green energy BAL after having gone inside and killing the lower evil demons. If he didn't gather them quickly, these energy BAL would completely dissipate. Chen Xiang immediately collected these energy BAL inside the brilliant flame dragon furnace after having killed the lower evil demons. At this instance, Chen Xiang had placed more bait. As a result, even 3 batches of evil demons came in within a day, all of them led by an overlord. However, at the end of the day, they became Chen Xiang's prey and were killed inside the illusion array. Just like that, time flew. Now, only a day was left for the end of the round. Over these days, Chen Xiang had collected a total of 15 demon hearts with that illusion array. And presently, he was refining the energy BAL acquired from killing the lower evil demons. If everything went well, he would have acquired even more demon hearts as the evil demon energy BAL were too many. Finally done. Although these are not authentic demon hearts, they appear just the same. Chen Xiang had refined a total 15 demon hearts. Now, the total number of demon hearts in his hand were only 32, and he was still fairly fast. As for the others, one could very well imagine. Had he not killed Wan Xian, he would not have been able to acquire 51 demon hearts, and as such, he would truly have been unable to enter the finals. "There's a big guy coming, it's actually the so-called king!" exclaimed Chen Xiang in surprise, sending his heart into pounding. This guy is unexpectedly accompanied by 20 retinues and all of them have demon heart. Chen Xiang grew even more excited. However, he was worried that his illusion array would be broken. That so-called evil demon king was indeed extremely powerful. In Chen Xiang's opinion, he seemed to be in the late stage of tempering realm. Liao Xiaoyun, the enemy that had etched his figure in Chen Xiang's heart, also had the same strength. At present, Chen Xiang was only in the early stage of spirit martial realm. Above the spirit martial realm was soul martial realm, above which was the final tempering realm. He still had a long way to go. Calm down. Chen Xiang clinched the suppressing devil brilliant mirror. If he could kill 21 evil demons inside the illusion array, he would be able to obtain 21 demon hearts. Coupled with the 32 demon hearts from before, the total number of demon hearts in his hand would also surpass the 50 mark. That would be too many. Great King, are we being tricked? Over these days those human ards had as sacred many of our kinds. They are targeting our demon hearts, stated an evil demon with a tiger head and human body. There is no need to fear, these human ards are not that powerful. They can easily deal with you, but not me. In here I am the strongest, said the leader. With the lower body of a huge scorpion, the upper body of a human, 2 pillars for its hands, and a shaking poisonous tail, this so-called evil demon king looked quite terrifying. The greater evil demons around him dared not approach him. Having encountered the so-called evil demon king for the first time, Chen Xiang now wanted to test the illusion array and the suppressing devil brilliant mirror. He had long been waiting for this day. Poisonous Scorpion King, the king closest to the dark forest canyon. He may have come to check up on the disappearance of many tribe leaders. After having caught the smell of poisonous Scorpion King, the wolf slave's eyes flickered with a terrified look. Chen Xiang, on the other hand, left and had cautiously sneaked into the illusion array. At this moment, the poisonous Scorpion King and his retinues had yet to arrive. However, the 100 Beasts' Dawn fragrance was simply too tempting to the evil demons and the beasts. The 100 Beasts' Dawn were akin to pure energy for them. The evil demons and beasts could all distinguish the 100 Beasts' Dawn from the smell. Furthermore, they could smell it from thousands of li away. Let's go. What's there to be afraid of with me here? Shouted the poisonous Scorpion King in a loud voice as he walked towards the front. At this moment, Chen Xiang had stopped operating the illusion array. He was waiting for all the evil demon to enter, only then was he going to start it. Otherwise, the evil demons in the rear would sense something isn't right and thence would not enter. Watching all the evil demons enter the illusion array area of effect, Chen Xiang cheered in his heart as he activated the illusion array, only to see the poisonous Scorpion King and those 20 evil demons raising a commotion immediately, for they have suddenly appeared inside an extremely beautiful canyon. After the poisonous Scorpion King and his subordinate entered the illusion array, Chen Xiang manipulated the array and created multiple dreamlands, separating all the evil demons completely so as to prevent them from seeing each other. At the same time, he made them enter dungeons, giving them a way to go and thereby scattering them. This way, Chen Xiang would not have to worry about them breaking the array by collaborating with each other. After the poisonous Scorpion King and his subordinate entered the illusion array, Chen Xiang manipulated the array and created multiple dreamlands, separating all the evil demons completely so as to prevent them from seeing each other. At the same time, he made them enter dungeons, giving them a way to go and thereby scattering them. This way, Chen Xiang would not have to worry about them breaking the array by collaborating with each other. Hiding inside the illusion array, Chen Xiang wielded the suppressing devil brilliant mirror as he killed those scattered greater evil demons one after another, and taking their demon hearts out. Previously, he had already done this many times and as such, had become a lot proficient. Very soon 20 demon hearts were in his hands. At present, the poisonous Scorpion King was still inside a beautiful mountain valley. At this moment, he was attacking everything in sight as he too had fallen into an endless confusion. His attacks were extremely powerful. Chen Xiang could feel that monstrous aura emanating from him from far away. However, those powerful attacks were completely neutralized by the large array. The attacks didn't cause too much of an effect at all. The poisonous Scorpion King had long grown tired of this mysterious realm, where he never saw the sun. Now, he was feeling happy having arrived at such a picturesque mountain valley, but he did not let his guard down as 20 retinues who had followed him here had suddenly disappeared. The poisonous Scorpion King vigilantly walked around the mountain valley. But in fact, there simply wasn't any mountain valley. Everything was created out of Chen Xiang's imagination and were then fed into the poisonous Scorpion King's mind through the array. This guy is not so easy to deal with. It seems I have to activate the offensive array inside the array. If Chen Xiang were to kill this poisonous Scorpion King, the energy of the illusion array that he had arranged would almost be expended as well. When Chen Xiang had laid out this illusion array, an offensive array was also arranged inside those spirit patterns. Under Chen Xiang's control, the energy inside the illusion array began to gather, converging into a terrifying power through those spirit patterns. Rumble! A flash of lightning glimmered inside the dark forest as it struck the poisonous Scorpion King. The poisonous Scorpion King let out a loud roar. Meanwhile, Chen Xiang aimed the suppressing devil brilliant mirror at the poisonous Scorpion King and released the suppressing devil Yuan Qi that the demons and devils most dreaded. The suppressing devil Yuan Qi gathered into a beam of limit which shone up the poisonous Scorpion King's head. Immediately after, the poisonous Scorpion King issued blood-curdling wails. Nevertheless, the suppressing devil Yuan Qi failed to melt the poisonous Scorpion King's head immediately and was only melting bit by bit. The poisonous Scorpion King was extremely powerful, and the same was true for his body. Therefore, Chen Xiang failed to melt his head with the suppressing devil brilliant mirror at once like before. Nonetheless, the poisonous Scorpion King didn't last for long as his head was completely eroded by the strange power inside the suppressing devil Yuan Qi. Only after having confirming poisonous Scorpion King's death did Chen Xiang rushed over with a flash before forming a claw with his hand and thrusting it towards the poisonous Scorpion King's chest. In order to take out the poisonous Scorpion King's demon heart instantly, Chen Xiang had released some dragon force and infused it inside the suppressing devil Yuan Qi, so as to strengthen that claw of his. Qi. Having his hand pierce the poisonous Scorpion King's stu. R. dy chest, Chen Xiang grabbed the demon heart and pulled it out. The demon heart of poisonous Scorpion King was just as big as the usual demon hearts. However, it was very bright and was releasing glaring green light, which made Chen Xiang feel as if he was holding a small green sun. Truly a great harvest! There is still a lot of energy remaining inside the illusion array, enough to deal with another guy, exclaimed Chen Xiang in excitement as he returned to the wolf slave's side and waited. Now, he was only a day away from leaving this mysterious realm. Having seen Chen Xiang pick off those powerful evil demons under the poisonous Scorpion King in no time, the wolf slave was shocked endlessly. He suddenly felt he was very clever and had a good luck as well, otherwise, his demon heart would have long been in Chen Xiang's hand. Huddled up inside the tree burrow, Chen Xiang used his divine sense to monitor the surrounding, waiting for the fish to enter the net. The 100 beasts' dawn had been placed inside the array for so long and yet not one was eaten. Nevertheless, they had helped Chen Xiang capture a lot of fishes. After having been waiting for half a day, Chen Xiang fiercely opened his eyes. They are here. What made him somewhat disappointed was that it was not a big fist but just a greater evil demon, one at the level a tribe leader. If it was that so-called evil demon king, maybe he would have brought a bunch of subordinates along with him. And more importantly, that kind of evil demon heart was very good as well. It's an extra large fist. H. Plus ha ha ha, there is actually a human, stated Long Shui, laughing. Chen Xiang was astounded. He didn't sense any human. Peering through a small hole, he very soon saw a tall and thin man dressed in black clothes tracking an evil demon with very light agility technique. The evil demon, on the other hand, had a body and buck teeth similar to that of a wild boar. That's Gongsun Jie, the second apprentice of W.A.N.G. Quan. Chen Xiang exclaimed in his heart. It was indeed a big fish. Chen Xiang's heart started palpitating. At this instance he was extremely excited. Previously, he had been waiting for W.A.N.G. Quan's apprentices to arrive but had given up all hope. However, now Gongsun Jie had delivered himself into Chen Xiang's hands. In fact, Gongsun Jie came here following that evil demon. He was following them because he suspected that these evil demons were guarding some kind of treasure. Previously, he had tracked these evil demons a few times already, but later all of them entered their tribe. Although he didn't find any treasure, he was able to slaughter them heartily. At this moment, Gongsun Jie failed to discover that there was a dreamland before him. His camouflaging skills were indeed very good. Had Chen Xiang not been warned by Long Shui, Chen Xiang would have failed to notice him. In the darkness, the black clothes that Gongsun Jie wore had allowed him to integrate with the pitch-black leaves of the forest. His movements were also extremely light and silent, just like a gentle breeze. Meanwhile, the boar man had already entered the illusion array's area of effect. However, Chen Xiang had still not activated the dreamland. He was waiting for Gongsun Jie to enter as well. This time, he did not need to fight like when he fought with Wan Xian. This time, finest. Hi plus ing one of W.A.N.G. Quan's apprentice would be even more relaxed as he had the support of the illusion array. When Gongsun Jie had advanced by 100 steps deep inside the illusion array, he suddenly found himself in a picturesque valley. He was seeing the same things as the poisonous Scorpion King did before. In contrast, the wild boar suddenly found himself in AHELL. He only saw a flash of golden light before his demon heart was pulled out. This is an illusion array. Who in the BLOODYHELL arranged it? I am the second apprentice of W.A.N.G. Quan, the Divine Martial Palace Lord. Gongsun Jie immediately shouted as soon as he realized that this was an illusion array. Whereupon, Chen Xiang, who was feeling all complacent, suddenly frowned as he swore in his heart, for the energy of the illusion array had just run out. Soon after Gongsun Jie started shouting, the picturesque mountain valley blurred as those black trees once again came into his view. Chen Xiang. Gongsun Jie noticed Chen Xiang's silhouette far away and recognized him at first glance, which surprised Gongsun Jie even more so. He didn't expect that Chen Xiang was someone who could actually lay out such a powerful array. Having thought that the illusion array belonged to Chen Xiang, his back was suddenly drenched in cold sweat. Even so, Gongsun Jie was still furious. Chen Xiang, what about that pig? That was my prey. Chen Xiang found it funny that Gongsun Jie didn't escape the array the very first moment he got out. Chen Xiang found it funny that Gongsun Jie didn't escape the array the very first moment he got out. Having noticed Chen Xiang's expression, Gongsun Jie flew back and madly bombarding the ground in response, rupturing the ground and ruining the array thereafter. Evidently, he also had some knowledge of arrays. Chen Xiang, did you just trapped in the array? What are you up to? Shouted Gongsun Jie from afar. Although he had quite an imposing bearing, he dared not approach Chen Xiang. In response, Chen Xiang burst into laughter as he said, "What could I be up to? I started the array because I saw a boar man coming, who knew Brother Gongsun's camouflaging ability would be so strong that I found Brother Gongsun only after having killed that boar man." Gongsun Jie was stupefied for a moment. Chen Xiang had killed the boar man in the short moment he was inside the dreamland. This kind of strength astounded him. Nonetheless, he wasn't afraid. Chen Xiang, you stole my prey, you better hand it over obediently, or else. Chen Xiang coldly laughed as he walked over. Or else, what? You will kill me? That's not the way of doing things. I saw that Boorman first. Furthermore, I also lead him here. In the first place, that thing belonged to me. Since you are not willing to hand over that demon heart, I can only snatch it back, stated Gongsun Jie coldly as he took out a long spear covered in yellow flames. As Gongsun Jie pointed the long spear at Chen Xiang, scorching flames gushed out from it. The heat emanating from it dried the leaves on the nearby trees as they fell on the ground. Feeling this intense heat, Chen Xiang was greatly astounded immediately. He didn't expect Gongsun Jie to actually be in possession of a fire spirit. After all, only someone who was in possession of fire spirit could employ yellow flames. Gongsun Jie smiled in disdain upon noticing Chen Xiang's countenance. Your flames are nothing in my eyes. Even some old men who had been using flames for their entire lifetime would willingly throw in the towel facing my flames. He knew Chen Xiang was a fire expert. He was feeling all proud at this moment as he believed Chen Xiang was afraid of his flames. A yellow fire spirit was ranked third from the bottom in the ranking of fire spirit. In contrast, Chen Xiang's heavenly sun fire spirit was ranked at the top. It was king among the fire spirit. However, Chen Xiang had controlled the heavenly sun fire spirit very well, so as to prevent its mighty aura from bursting out. Elder Dan had once repeatedly exhorted him and Wu Qianqian that they could not reveal the matter of fire spirit to the others, otherwise, they would be targeted by the forces of Fire God Temple. Lu Menger and Hua Xiangyue were also well aware of this, whereas Lu Menger was only able to successfully fuse with the fire spirit because Chen Xiang had helped her. As for Hua Xiangyue, Chen Xiang had a suspicion that she too was in possession of a fire spirit. Seeing Chen Xiang remaining silent, Gongsun Jie said, ridiculing, "You are afraid of this flame? Let me tell you, my flames can be so strong because I have obtained a fire spirit. You are an alchemist, so you should know of fire spirits, right? That is akin to an extreme treasure for alchemists." Certainly, Gongsun Jie also knew that the fire spirits must be kept secret. However, he believed that Chen Xiang was a dead person, therefore, he wasn't afraid of anything. Chen Xiang, on the other hand, sneered in his heart, with just a yellow fire spirit, you still dare to quibble before my heavenly sun fire. You just wait and watch how I wrap you up for good. So what? The compet. 1. Tian isn't about whose flames are better. Chen Xiang slightly smiled as a pure and rich water-attributed true qi spread from his body, only to see a fair number of water vines that were as thick as a thigh suddenly appeared underneath Gongsun Jie's feet. Since the opposite party was using flames, Chen Xiang used the water vines to deal with him even though he perfectly knew that his black tortoise true qi won't be able to suppress the flames of fire spirit. Very soon, the water vines had crawled around Gongsun Jie's body completely, even his long spear that was enshrouded in flames wasn't spared. The water vine had wrapped around it as well. Immediately after, a mist began to appear as the water was being burnt off by the scorching fire energy. Meanwhile, Gongsun Jie also secretly began to curse Chen Xiang. "These kinds of dirty tricks won't work on me," roared Gongsun Jie as flames suddenly broke out from his body, evaporating Chen Xiang's water vines in the blink of an eye. By then, Chen Xiang had already jumped to Gongsun Jie's side after having taken out the azure dragon slaughtering devil blade and fiercely slashed downwards thereafter. Gongsun Jie had always been paying attention to Chen Xiang's movement while dealing with the water vines by releasing the flame. Seeing Chen Xiang quickly SLA's HI+ing at him, he immediately defended by holding the spear horizontally. Siv shock wave with a loud crash erupted the moment Chen Xiang's azure dragon lightning force and Gongsun Jie's flame force fiercely clashed with one another. The confrontation of two such powerful energy burst forth with a thunderous resound along with heat and light, just like a dazzling sun. In that instant, the entire dark forest canyon was illuminated by the subsequent glow. At the same time, the first set of chi waves spread towards all direction like billowing tides, setting off a storm that even uprooted those giant trees. In just a short while, the ground around Chen Xiang and Gongsun Jie had been leveled out, even a thick layer of soil had been stormed away from the aftermath. At this moment, it was quite apparent how terrifying power these two could erupt with, whereupon Chen Xiang was pushed back from the aftershock, his hand holding the blade slightly numb. Evidently, Gongsun Jie was far stronger than Wan Xian that he had previously encountered. At this instance, Gongsun Jie was also under no small pressure, because Chen Xiang was also insanely powerful. Previously, he had seen Chen Xiang's fight in the tournament. He knew Chen Xiang had concealed his strength very well. However, he had quite a bit of confidence in his own strength. As such, he believed Chen Xiang was weaker than him because his bloodline could bestow him the strength that was a lot more powerful than any ordinary man that he could come to possess. A frown crept upon Chen Xiang's forehead holding the blade's hilt. The strength of King's vein was indeed extraordinary. Had it been any ordinary martial artist who had just stepped into the extreme state, he would simply unable to defend against that blade strike of his, and perhaps even escape from the water vines with extreme difficulty. Gongsun Jie was also not feeling any better. That previous blade of Chen Xiang made him feel as though the azure dragon slaughtering devil blade weighed tens of thousands of pounds. Furthermore, the lightning power accompanied it was also rather fearsome. The azure dragon slaughtering devil blade was a divine weapon that would only get heavier the more its user infused his strength into it. Whereas Chen Xiang had only employed Azure Dragon True Qi in the last strike of his, that's all. Gongsun Jie couldn't show any sign of weakness, as such the long spear in his hand quivered as an intense flame once again gushed out from it as he thrust it straight at Chen Xiang. Apparently, he had chosen to launch a preemptive strike at Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang's eyebrows twitched. Immediately after, a vivid azure dragon suddenly emerged on the blade of Azure Dragon slaughtering devil blade, which immediately turned fiery red, then golden, its color changing successively, and very quickly at that. This time, Chen Xiang had employed the universe True Qi, the strongest form of True Qi created by fusing the 5 True Qi in his body. This True Qi was many times stronger than a single attributed True Qi. Its power could not just be judged by adding 1 plus 1. A furious howl resonated from the azure dragon slaughtering devil blade. The moment the furious howl erupted from it, fierce gales gushed out from the blade, raising a cloud of dust as they swept straight at Gongsun Jie, submerging him inside. Furious Dragon Strike. It was one of the moves among the Dragon Slayer's 7 killing cut. It was the fastest strike in his arsenal, and he could utilize it in succession until all of his true qi was expended. As soon as the furious dragon strike was cast, Chen Xiang fell under the influence of the furious dragon might. An inexplicable anger filled his entire body, seeping into his very soul. His blood and body started burning from this inexplicable anger. As soon as the furious dragon strike was cast, Chen Xiang fell under the influence of the furious dragon might. An inexplicable anger filled his entire body, seeping into his very soul. His blood and body started burning from this inexplicable anger. The strength in anger could only be summarized in one word: terrifying. As the saying goes, one could always surpass their limits in anger. At present, the same was true for Chen Xiang. Unconsciously, he felt an ever-increasing power coursing through his body which needed to be vented. This was the terrifying thing about the furious dragon strike. Its caster would be infuriated, granting him or her a mighty power like an angry dragon, which was incomparably terrifying. In other words, it was a thunderbolt-like strike of a furious dragon. Chen Xiang's furious dragon strike greeted that thrusting spear by a downward cut, thereby erupting with thunder-like dragon roar that shook the 9 heavens as a shock wave swept around. This scene was quite shocking, endlessly terrifying Gongsun Jie as well. These dragon martial techniques became even more fearsome with Chen Xiang's improvement in strength. This was also what made these dragon martial techniques so powerful. That long spear of Gongsun Jie was a pretty good brilliant grade weapon, however. It still paled in comparison to Chen Xiang's Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade, which was a divine grade weapon. The difference between them was like that between heaven and earth. At this moment, the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade weighed close 100 million pounds. The power of this downward cut could only be imagined. Having clashed with incoming Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade, Gongsun Jie's long spear broke into pieces from the subsequent powerful impact. Just one cut and Gongsun Jie's long spear had already been destroyed. In shock, Gongsun Jie soon came to understand that the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade in Chen Xiang's hands had already transcended the brilliant grade weapons. It was a weapon of higher grade. His long spear was no different than a tofu in front of this divine blade. Chen Xiang's strength could indeed be enhanced by several times by relying on the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade. This was also why Chen Xiang had a full grasp of everything in the mysterious realm, because there were no rules here. He could kill the other party without any care. Under this kind of situation, Chen Xiang could utilize everything in his grasp, from devil techniques to divine blade, which was his true strength. Immediately after, a Ma. Civ Hi. Plus ELD that was as tall as a human and had flames erupting from it, appeared in Gongsun Jie's hand with a white flash of light. With one glance, it was quite apparent that it was a brilliant grade Hi plus ELD, something that an ordinary martial artist could hardly get his hands on. Seeing that kind of fearsome blade technique that Chen Xiang had utilized in anger, Gongsun Jie was completely shocked and had come to his senses. He realized he was not Chen Xiang's opponent. Of course, he attributed Chen Xiang's strength to the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade. Had it been a compet 1. Tian, he still had the confidence to defeat Chen Xiang. Having his strike blocked by Gongsun Jie's long spear, Chen Xiang became even more furious. Thereby, he became even stronger and once again cast a furious dragon strike at that thick and enormous Hi plus ELD. The divine blade in Chen Xiang's hand bloomed with dazzling cerulean light along with a thunderous roar of a dragon as the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade clashed with that enormous Hi plus ELD like a furious Azure Dragon. Immediately after, a thunderous metallic bang soon reverberated in the surrounding. The subsequent impact affected the surroundings yet again. The ground was completely devastated, covered in fissures. The trees all around had been crushed into nothing from the resulting pressure. Chen Xiang didn't just stop at one strike. He continued to outpour his anger, chopping with furious dragon strikes continuously. Only through this method could he appease the seething bloodle. In his body. A series of furious dragon strikes shook the entire mysterious realm with furious roars of a dragon. The entire dark forest canyon had been ruthlessly wrecked by this menacing power. Boulders after boulders rolled down the mountains. Some of the mountains had even split, whereas cracks also began to appear on the enormous Hi plus ELD in Gongsun Jie's hand. After all, only a divine grade Hi plus ELD could defend against the outpour of Chen Xiang's power with the divine blade. Aren't you Ji Quan's second apprentice? Don't you possess the fire spirit? Aren't you the genius of King's Mainland? Why have you shrunk your head behind the Hi plus ELD like a turtle? Weren't you arrogantly shouting you will kill me? Where is your arrogance from before? Chen Xiang continued to fiercely slash while roaring in anger. Gongsun Jie clenched his teeth, his heart bleeding with hatred. He now began to regret contending with Chen Xiang here. Chen Xiang was far more powerful than him because of his divine blade. At this moment, the Ma.S. Civ S. HI plus ELD that was ranked among the brilliant grade weapon was soon about to be destroyed. He wanted to escape, but he couldn't. If he turned around, Chen Xiang would definitely split him into two with that broadsword at once. Even if he exerted all his strength to defend, he would only be able to withstand for a short while. And looking at Chen Xiang's current grand and imposing manner, it was quite apparent that Chen Xiang could keep on casting this kind of overbearing blade technique for a long while. Chen Xiang could currently utilize 5,000 highly compressed true element grains present in his body. When he released his true qi, it was like a raging river, flowing in a steady stream. Chen Xiang, you can take the demon heart of that boar man. If we go on like this, we both will sustain great losses. Clenching his teeth, Gongsun Jie swallowed his pride and tried to reach peace. However, Chen Xiang could not take this lying down. Giving out a roar, he once again cast the furious dragon strike. Shut your F.U.C. King trap. From the get-go, the boar man was killed by your father. Furthermore, we both won't sustain grievous injuries. It's either you or me. Soon after, Gongsun Jie's huge S.Hi plus ELD was blasted to smithereens with a loud bang. Now, Gongsun Jie only had a layer of flames covering his entire body. Chen Xiang had already realized that Gongsun Jie was a martial artist with multiple veins, and all were fire veins at that. Moreover, the defense of this kind of true qi fire cover was indeed extremely strong. However, Gongsun Jie could not defend for too long. Chen Xiang, I have something to say. Gongsun Jie was getting anxious. He was human as well. There were times when he was also afraid. He too feared death very much. Chen Xiang's Azure Dragon slaughtering devil blade was just a powerful piece of brilliant grade weapon in many people's opinion, that's all. Who would have ever thought that it was a piece of divine weapon which was a rarity even in heavenly realm? If this kind of divine weapon appeared in the heavenly realm, it would lead to a sanguinary slaughter for sure. However, Chen Xiang was in a mortal world. With him in the possession of such heaven-defying stuff, no one would be his match, no matter how powerful brilliant grade piece of equipment one came to possess. Say it to your sister. If your father was weaker than you, would you still be speaking with me? You are just A-B-A-S-T. A-R-D who bully the weak but fear the strong. Chen Xiang showered curses non-stop. Suddenly, the Azure Dragon's slaughtering devil blade was shrouded in a white mist before the ground immediately began to shake, rising up and down around Chen Xiang like ripples in a lake. Dragon force! Gongsun Jie's facial features had already been distorted from fear. And now G.O. D knows how strong would Chen Xiang be after utilizing Dragon Force. At this instance, Chen Xiang was employing the strongest force in his arsenal, the Dragon Force, and with the divine weapon, the Azure Dragon slaughtering devil blade at that. Go bluff and blu, tur in hell. A furious dragon roar reverberated in every corner of the evil demon mysterious realm. This strike possessed a monstrous imposing manner, and the power behind it was extraordinary as well. This strike crumbled Gongsun Jie's defense in a jiffy, splitting him into two. The subsequent qi blade ran through a huge mountain, opening a canyon inside. Chen Xiang immediately retrieved the storage ring from Gongsun Jie's finger. Having checked it and discovering 60 demon hearts with some other things, the anger in his heart finally disappeared. A slight smile appeared on his lips as he left the dark forest canyon with the S.Hi plus T scared wolf slave. Gongsun Jie's storage ring had a total of 60 demon hearts inside, among which 50 were the ones that he brought with him. Chen Xiang handed these demon hearts to Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu so that they could slightly alter them in the shortest time, so as to prevent Weng Quan and others from recognizing them. Gongsun Jie's storage ring had a total of 60 demon hearts inside, among which 50 were the ones that he brought with him. Chen Xiang handed these demon hearts to Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu so that they could slightly alter them in the shortest time, so as to prevent Wang Ji Quan and others from recognizing them. Gong Sun Jie had come in here for so long and yet he was only able to gather 10 demon hearts, that's all, which made Chen Xiang secretly despise him. It was completely in line with Chen Xiang's guess. The Divine Martial Place had handed 50 demon hearts to each of Wang Ji Quan's 4 apprentices, in order to ensure that they could enter the finals. Of course, Divine Martial Palace and the others underestimated Chen Xiang's true strength. They would have also not expected that Gong Sun Jie and Wan Xian would actually be so reckless that they would go all out with Chen Xiang. After having killed 2 of Wang Ji Quan's apprentices, Chen Xiang had acquired a total of 165 demon hearts. This number was extremely shocking. If Chen Xiang took all of them out after having left this mysterious realm, the Divine Martial Palace would definitely get suspicious. Therefore, he did not intend to take the demon hearts acquired from Gong Sun Jie and Wan Xian out. Using the illusion array, Chen Xiang had killed a dozen evil demons and a certain number of lesser evil demons. Also, using the Ma.S of energy inside these lesser evil demons, he had congealed a dozen demon hearts. Counting the previous demon hearts, he had said a total of 32 demon hearts. Then he went again and killed the poisonous Scorpion King along with his 20 subordinates, acquiring 21 demon hearts yet again. Finally, he killed a boar man and acquired another demon heart. Counting the previous demon hearts, he now had a total of 50-some demon hearts, all of which he had acquired himself. Chen Xiang had divided all the demon hearts he had acquired into 3 parts, 1 part which he had obtained himself, and the other 2 consisted of which that he obtained by killing Gong Sun Jie and Wan Xian. He believed that the 54 demon hearts that he had acquired should be enough to pass this round. However, he was still feeling a little uneasy. He was worried that some lucky BASTARD would acquire many demon hearts and maybe, just maybe he would be eliminated. If he took out all 165 demon hearts at once, then, the Divine Martial Palace would get suspicious for sure. On his way with the wolf slave, Chen Xiang was feeling a bit annoyed. Now, he really hoped that he would encounter his fellow competitors so that he could ask how many did they get. There wasn't much time left for the end of this round. Leaving the dark forest canyon, Chen Xiang wandered around the dark forest with the wolf slave. Suddenly, a blue flash of light flashed past his eyes. Lost in his thoughts, Chen Xiang reacted immediately as he stretched his hand out and grabbed a soft yet powerful hand. Lon Lon. Having caught the soft and tender fist, Chen Xiang was slightly taken by surprise. This punch was actually aimed at the wolf slave next to him. The wolf slave hurriedly hid behind Chen Xiang after being taken aback. Had Chen Xiang been just a bit slower, the wolf slave's head would have been smashed to a pulp by that jade-like fist. Scoundrel, what are you up to? That's but an evil demon. Lon Lon pursed her lips, staring continuously at the wolf slave like she was looking at a prey, which scared the hell out of the wolf slave. The wolf slave had been terrified of humans ever since he had seen Chen Xiang's strength. The scenes of the fight between Chen Xiang and Gong Sun Jie still lingered in his mind. Watching the cute and beautiful girl dressed in blue skirt suddenly appear, Chen Xiang relaxed secretly. He had been looking for his fellow competitors to ask how many demon hearts they had acquired. He didn't expect that Lon Lon would actually deliver herself to his doorstep. He is my slave now, said Chen Xiang with a laugh. Give me a face and let him go. Lon Lon stuck her tongue out. Seeing the absolutely obedient look of wolf slave towards Chen Xiang, she also chose to believe it. She wasn't stupid and understood that taking an evil demon as a slave was a very good thing for Chen Xiang. She too had been wanting to take a slave one as well, but she couldn't, no matter how. We are going to be leaving soon. How many demon hearts did you get? Asked Chen Xiang as a smile crept up on his lips. I didn't get much. The evil demons are really meager in number, furthermore, they are hiding pretty well. I could not find them. You tell me first, how many did you get? Seeing Chen Xiang had taken an evil demon as a slave, she reckoned that Chen Xiang had obtained many for sure. Chen Xiang burst into laughter before he replied. 53, what about you? Lan Lan burst into tender shouts. What? 53? You smelly bee, A-S-T-A-R-D, how did you get so many? This one here only got 28. Lan Lan put on a pout, her cute little face filled with worry. She was worried that she would be ousted from this round. Seeing that a guy like Chen Xiang could get 54 demon hearts, she was suddenly not that sure about the final rankings. Touching his nose, Chen Xiang said, smiling, I arranged a large array where the evil demons frequently appear and disappear, and then waited there after placing a thing that the evil demons like to eat inside. Heh, I don't need to tell you about what happened next. Lan Lan slammed her foot in jealousy. Humph, what a nasty trick. I also had the same idea, but I could not arrange an array. More importantly, neither did I know the place which is frequented by evil demons, nor did I know how to lure them. Chen Xiang burst into a laughter. This intelligent girl's thinking was indeed right on target, however, she just couldn't do the same. Now do you realize how fearsome I am? I wonder how many did others get? Chen Xiang was still a bit worried about being eliminated. He had already arrived at this step just for that fruit of fortune. If he still got eliminated, he would regret it for a long time. Seeing Chen Xiang, who had acquired 50-some demon hearts, still being worried, Lan Lan was sadder even more so, for she only had 28. She could not wait to ruthlessly pinch Chen Xiang. He was still being worried even after getting so many, this only made her even sadder. Scoundrel, I'm finished this time. I am the strongest woman in the blue blood family. If I am eliminated here, I would lose a lot of face. Squatting on the ground, Lan Lan started drawing circles. She was low in spirits. Strongest woman? The corner of Chen Xiang's eyes started twitching. The strongest girl, but I will definitely be the strongest woman in the blue blood family for sure. Lan Lan immediately corrected herself immediately after noticing Chen Xiang's suspicions. Chen Xiang suddenly discovered that this Lan Lan wasn't so bad. As thick-skinned and impetuous she might be, she had her principles. Furthermore, she even dared to go against the divine martial palace. Earlier, she had cautioned him of the Vajra Griffin and also helped him by testifying. Little missy, I will tell you something, but you have to promise you're not going to disclose it. I can make sure that you pass this round. A mysterious smile appeared on Chen Xiang's lip. I promise you. Do you think I am a woman with loose lips? As confused as Lan Lan was feeling, she still chose to believe Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang slapped the wolf slave, making him unconscious before erasing a part of his memories, lest he revealed some things. Having arranged a silencing barrier, Chen Xiang said in a serious manner, To tell you the truth, I have 100 or so demon hearts with me. I can give you some, increasing the number of demon hearts in your hands. And once this round is over, we can meet at a secret location and you can hand those demon hearts back to me. What? 100 or so? Lan Lan cleaned her small ears, thinking that there was something wrong with them, and she didn't hear it correctly.